Hello,
Welcome,
everybody. What's going on? Welcome to
What's
another
up?
episode of Beardo in the Butt. You were kind of late on that one. Beardo in the Butt.
Beardo and the butt. We're here to give you the worst news, the best news.
What's that one really like, that really like kind of racist one that they always do? Parks and Rec made a thing, but it's like, me so I have a beard.
Oh. I don't
Beardo.
Beardo. We're gonna hit you where it hurts.
In your beard hair.
That's right. We're gonna tell you news stories that are gonna make you go. We're gonna make you go. And some stories that'll make you go.
Yes, Daddy.
What story is that? I don't think there's
That's
been
what we've been playing this week. What have you been playing?
Well, no, I meant like stories in general.
Well, I mean, none of the stories that I have I can say out loud. Although I have been doing since we last did the podcast, because it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Since we last did the podcast, I've actually done a lot of things that are like in the outside world, you know? Like I've actually gone out to like clubs.
Wait, clubs?
I've gone clubbing.
Damn, how's clubbing going?
Clubbing's going good. We went, technically it's a bar, but if the bar is 80% dance floor, that's a club.
Yakuza tells me that's a club.
That's a club. Yeah, no, I went to a club called Glitch over in Fort Lauderdale.
Is it a nerd club?
Huh?
Why is it called Glitch?
It is a club that has video games in it, but it plays mostly alternative music. And no, it's actually really fun. It's the arcade part is in a completely separate room. So like if you don't want to touch any dirty arcade machines, you don't have to. And then they also have like a private room for concerts.
Oh.
Like they're like a legit space. Yeah. It just has like that video game thing on the side.
It's like a barcade.
No. See, I've been to barcades. It's not a barcade.
What do you
Literally, they shoved a ton of arcade machines into a room in the back.
I've never been to a barcade. It sounds incredibly cringy.
It is not. It's actually kind of neat.
Okay.
So what they do at barcades is they have cup holders on all the machines, right? And it's just the regular machines that you've seen at every arcade. But you go up to the bar. Usually the cover charge is free or it's like $5. And then you go up to the bar, you order a drink. And when you order a drink, you get a wristband. And when you get the wristband, you can just play all the games for free. And you just walk around with your
Sounds like
drink.
Dave & Buster's.
Sort of. But in this case, there's no children around. And you can socialize with other people your age.
My thing with Dave & Buster's
Timmy, who keeps
wasn't that
machine.
The children were annoying. It's that Dave & Buster's is probably one of the worst establishments I've ever been to in my entire life.
The one that we have where I live is pretty good, actually. They have like some decent stuff there.
I'm gonna say you're lying.
They have a Plinko machine, which means I can game the system. Did you know that the Plinko machine, if you put it in the dead center, you have a 50% chance of hitting the jackpot every time?
I did not know this.
Yeah, so if there's a Plinko machine at an arcade, everybody just throw that shit directly in the center. Especially if there's a peg in the center, you want to drop it right on that fucking peg.
I hate when I get pegged in the center.
Well, there's no other place to get pegged, unfortunately. So if
not
you don't like getting pegged in the center, not at the barcade.
Getting pegged at the barcade.
Yeah, I've been going clubbing. It was very fun. There was also another club across the street that was not a video game related anything. That one was also fun. We walked in on a concert happening.
Oh.
Yeah, the guy like stopped in the middle of his song to do like a freestyle. And it was okay.
Ugh. There's nothing I genuinely think
New York.
There's nothing worse than being mediocre. Like when there's something, because if you're bad, at least it's like fun. If you just like you pull out some mid right in front of everybody, everyone's just like I went to a concert back in August where like the person they had open for them, it was like this, like the band we went to, Chase Atlantic, for anyone who knows about like obscure bands, but like they basically got like an Avril Lavigne like knockoff girl, like, and there was this room full of like people wanting to hear songs about drugs and money. They literally have a song called like drugs and fucking money. Anyway, so it's like, you ever hate when your parents don't let you stay up late? And everyone was like, boo!
That sucks.
It was like,
that is unfortunate.
Just like a mediocre, like, and it's like, you have a decent voice, but you're singing about shit that no one cares about.
We are all approaching our 30s. We don't have parents for time for curfews.
I
had an opening band like that for one of my shows. It was awkward as hell. It happens.
In general though, we don't have any barcades where I live, not to my knowledge, but like I like to separate like nerd shit and party shit. For those of you who don't know, I do like to party. I like to boogie. But like I
like to boogie down. Have a little good time.
So like, but here's the thing. I'm for those of you who do not know, I'm a programmer for a living. I am basically and then my hobby is this
video game.
And I like this, but I'm basically always surrounded by nerds. So when I go out and have party time, yeah. Like I don't want to. I'm
gonna stop you right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop you right there, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You're a nerd who knows how to party, which means there are other nerds who know how to party.
I haven't met them. Oh boy, have I not met them.
Fair enough. But let me tell you something. The easiest way to find nerds who know how to party is to go to those places that combine the two, because since you have that attitude, I'm gonna lend you in on a little secret.
Okay.
You're gonna be the coolest fucking guy there. And everyone's gonna love you.
I need to meet those people because I have not yet.
Go to those places. Go to a barcade. Go to a club that has video game related adjacent stuff. Like straight up, everybody that I saw at that club was like my age.
Maybe I should. My girlfriend and I are always looking
people
for like
in like their mid to late 20s.
Places to like go like that. Like
some of them were like in their late 30s, but you know.
I've never been to an actual club before, so I'm a bit nervous that if I did go, I'd get like really scared. But
that's my point. You got to go to these places that are like, you know, it's combining an interest that you have that kind of pulls you into the aesthetic of clubbing and like the vibes of clubbing. Because once you get that experience in, you're just like, oh, dude, it's just as long as I know the fucking music that's playing, it's so easy. We should do that when you come visit, if you ever come visit.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I am. I mean, speaking of traveling in general, I am visiting. We're actually both traveling. Let's. Might as well get this out of the way early because people might not watch the entire thing.
And before we get to that, if you see my webcam acting funky, it's just the day. Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I know we took like a month off. I don't really want to get into why too much. It was mostly on me. But
we were tired.
Pretty much. So we will not be. I don't think we'll be back in 2 weeks.
It depends on where you're
30th.
going. Cause I'll be back on the 2nd.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then we're not gonna. Cause in 2 weeks is the 30th.
No. I'm leaving on the 25th.
Yeah, and the podcast would be the 30th. 2 weeks from now.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then no.
Yeah, so we will probably be back in another month. I will not be there the 7th.
Okay, so like in another
14th would probably be when
14th?
we do it again. After the Game Awards gives us plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
We
will talk a little bit about that.
So we'll be the next episode will be in another month. Basically, GC is going to.
I am going to Spain for a week.
Why?
I'm going abroad.
Why are you going to Spain?
Why am I going to Spain? I'm going to Spain because it has been one of my bucket list goals to go to Spain before I die. because my grandfather is from Spain, and I've always wanted to go see where he grew up, and that's partly the reason for it. I'm also going to Spain because my father insisted I go with him to Spain and with my family. Like, I'm going with like extended family as well. And he's been dying. He's been dying to get us to go to Spain. He's been dying. He keeps asking every time like he makes a trip for it and stuff like that. So I finally obliged him. We're probably gonna go watch some games at Camp Nou. We're gonna go eat pinchos, which is what they call tapas over there, and also what we call tapas here. I'm probably gonna go to Madrid, Barcelona, and Galicia, and that's where we're going.
That sounds like a busy week.
Yeah, it's like every 2 days we're going to like a different city.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my dad wants me to go see the farm my grandfather grew up on, so that's what we're gonna. My grandfather was a farm boy. He never knew his parents.
Oh.
He knew his aunt and uncle, and he grew up in a barn. He had like the JRPG protagonist like upbringing, and then he journeyed to a new world and fell in love and had a family. Like it's a very storybook story.
Your grandpa sounds legit.
He was legit. He was legit. He had a heart condition and he had many heart attacks in his life.
And he's still going?
Died of pneumonia.
Wait, he's dead?
Ironic. Yeah, my grandfather. Yeah, on my dad's side. Yeah.
Oh, you made it seem like he was like, come visit me.
No. He lived here. Like he moved here.
I know, but I just assumed he went back.
No.
Well, I mean, that's cool.
Maybe spiritually. I don't know.
I could have. Where do we go when we die?
I don't know. Ghosts aren't real.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on.
What?
They could be.
Ghosts aren't real.
They could be.
Ghosts aren't real. I'm a coward, and when bad, scary things happen, I go, "It's a ghost." But when I'm not being a coward, I'm like, "Ghosts aren't real."
It would be cooler if they were real.
Yes.
That is what my basically my beliefs in anything, like anything related to like ghosts, life after death, like anything like that, is just like, what do I think would be the coolest thing that could happen to me? Be a ghost? Reincarnation? Sure.
I would love to come back.
And that's all you need.
Of course.
It's more fun to live thinking they could exist.
True. But anyway, yeah, that's where we're going. We're going to Spain. I'm gonna go
that's where we're going. Hell.
I'm gonna go see some Spanish ghosts of my past and whatnot. And
you gotta take a lot of photos.
I was thinking of bringing my camera. I'm scared of losing it. But I think I might bring my camera.
I mean, at the very least, if your phone has a good like camera, you can take some good photos like that.
It do, but it don't hit me the same way as like having like my nice like.
Yeah, but I don't even have one of those, so I'll be jealous.
It's like 10 years old now.
Doesn't matter. Like that's still probably just as good, if not better, than my fucking phone camera.
No, phone cameras are so much better now.
They're. I feel like every time.
Can your phone shoot in 4K?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like it's actual 4K.
Mine can't do anything past 1080p.
Yeah, but it's probably like a better 1080p than my 4K.
No.
Yeah.
My webcam does better 1080p than my camera.
Yeah, but your videos look great.
Okay. The videos that are going to come out use my webcam instead of my camera. You're going to see it and go, oh, fuck.
So remember when I was like, hey, GC, I'm looking for a camera. What camera should I buy? Like webcam. And you were like, buy the shitty one. Don't buy my nice one.
That is
and then
not
I
true.
went, wow,
that
I
is
will
not
believe
true.
you. And then I bought the shitty.
That is not true. I told you buy the Brio.
Never buy the
said,
922.
Yeah, I told you buy the Brio, and you said, ooh, but this one's on sale though. And I'm like, well, for that price, I guess it would be good. And you were like, okay, I'm gonna go get it. And then you got it, and you were like, what the hell? It doesn't work.
It's a bad camera.
I showed you my setup, right?
Look
at the setup that I've got.
Yeah.
In the DMs?
Yeah, full of lies.
That's what makes it look good.
What do you, I didn't actually look at it. I'm a bad friend.
Not the webcam. The webcam doesn't do shit.
What do you mean the webcam doesn't do shit?
It's the 2 LED lights and the lamp in front of me.
No, but it's still your like your camera, like you have a better anyway. So I'm also going on a trip in December.
Okay, where are you going?
I'm going to San Diego. For what? I can't tell you, but I am going to San Diego for like 3 days.
All right.
What do you mean? Did you forget?
I did.
That's fair. But I will be at San Diego for about 2 to 3 days.
Sick.
Right before the Game Awards. I will not be there long. It is technically, I'm going there for my job, which is really the most I can say. But I look forward to it. Yeah, so we're gonna be busy.
Nice.
About the next time.
Are you gonna do anything while you're there besides like work related things?
If I have time. It depends on when my flight is.
Do you think they're really gonna like run you ragged?
They might.
They're gonna like take up all your time?
I don't know. I'm really like, because I don't think I've been to the West Coast since I was like a baby. So I've really just been, I've pretty much just like been on the East Coast my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be nice. Take a little trip.
Well, if you're gonna be in San Diego, there's haunted houses over there you can go check out.
And then find all the ghosts and bring them back, and then send them to your house.
Like ghosts so
I think ghosts are cool.
Okay, I think they're cool too. I just
all right. You believe in ghosts then?
No, I think they're cool conceptually.
You said earlier, oh, I don't believe in ghosts, but I get scared of them. That means you believe in ghosts. Subconsciously.
No, it means I'm a big coward.
That doesn't matter.
It means my monkey brain goes, there's an evil, I freak out.
The fact that you subconsciously are scared of ghosts means you subconsciously believe in ghosts.
I have ghost stories. I have like things that happen to me that I can't explain.
When I was a kid, there was this like, I stayed up late, and there was this out of my from outside in my window was this massive green light that just seeped in. And then I looked outside and everything was just green. And I just like looked at it and I was like, I had no idea what was going on. And I freaked out. I was like really scared and I tried to figure out what was happening. And then the next day when I asked about it, no one saw the green. But I know for sure that I saw green that day. And I genuinely cannot explain it.
You probably saw a car's headlights through some fog.
There was no fog.
How do you know?
GC, the entire view of my street from my little like window was green.
That's aliens. That's not ghosts.
It could be both. Could be both.
Ghosts lit up your entire street green.
With the aliens' help.
So it couldn't have been like a street light?
No.
That turned green?
Why would it turn green? Those don't turn green.
Because it's a street light.
They turn white.
They're controlled like they could be LED lights. I don't know.
It's not like that. No. Also, it was like I was 5. It was like 2000. You're telling me they got gamer lights that light streets in 2000?
Maybe you hallucinated it.
I did not hallucinate it. It wasn't like, oh, that light is green. It was the entirety of my street was green. I'm not.
And your brain goes ghosts before it goes aliens.
Oh no, I just wanted to talk about that thing that happened to me when I was younger.
Okay.
I don't know what did it. It could have been both.
You could have also just been tired because you were 5.
No. I know what I saw.
Okay, ask your parents about it.
I did. I was like, you remember when it went green? And they were probably like, fucking shut up. We're sleeping. We don't care.
Ask them again.
No, they don't remember that shit. The best time for them to have remembered was the day I asked them. The night, like after it happened, the previous night.
They might tell you now. They might have been lying to you to keep your mind safe as a child.
Oh, because they got abducted by aliens?
Maybe they got body swapped.
What if you wake up, you're on an alien ship.
Okay.
You like look around, you're like strapped to the table, you're looking around, and you're like, and
please don't make sweet love to me.
No, and then
I couldn't take it.
And then you see a scalpel like lift up, but there's no hand attached to it, and then you go, oh my god, the aliens are ghosts. And that's it. You die,
So
I
what have
guess,
you
on
been
the
playing
table.
this week?
So a lot of shit has been coming out.
Yeah.
Almost too much.
It's the holiday season. Holidays is upon us.
I think Square Enix should get a little less holiday cheery. They're killing me.
Well, they don't seem to give a fuck about the presents they're giving you. They seem to be leaving the presents at your doorstep while you are out of town and not telling you that they left something for you at your door.
They are consistently just like chucking it at my door and driving away.
Here. Like, oh my god. And somehow
All of them
yeah.
I was gonna say, like, all of them are good.
All of them are
all of the presents are like games. I was like, wow, you really, Uncle Square, you really gave me some of the best presents I've ever received. Could you have wrapped them?
Could you have had some faith in it?
Could you
Yeah, he threw you a fucking gift card and you're like, great, money, the best gift of all. But he was like, fuck
basically,
you, kid.
He throws me a bunch, like he waits for me to open the front door, and he pops out from the bush and starts throwing like Switch cartridges of all their games at me. And it's like, wow, I wanted all these. Thanks, I guess. Where'd you get them? And he's like,
fucking flips you the bird and runs away. What we're saying, folks, is that Square Enix hasn't marketed any of their shit, but all of their shit so far has been super good. Do you know what the marketing for Harvestella was?
Okay, that actually did get a bit of marketing.
It got like 2 tweets, and it was in the Square Enix bio on Twitter.
No. It was in like almost every single Nintendo Direct from when it got announced to when it came out.
True.
And then it got a bunch of trailers.
Mm-hmm. And then they weren't allowed to have day 1 reviews out.
Yeah.
So nobody bought it. That's not true.
I think people are buying that one. I think it's doing okay.
I think it's top 2 bestseller out of all the games that have come out. Only second to.
I've been playing a bunch of Tactics Ogre. People who've been listening to the podcast know that I've been very excited about this one. One of my favorite games of all time is Final Fantasy Tactics. That is still the best strategy game I've ever played of all time. I have tried several times to get into Tactics Ogre, but the PSP version kept filtering me. They changed so much from the original Tactics Ogre to the PSP version. And what they've done with Tactics Ogre Reborn is they've essentially rolled all those changes back, but they kept the visuals of the PSP one.
Yeah.
Like,
more or less.
The original game, for example, had it so that levels were based off of classes. And I think every time you got a new character in a class you hadn't used, they started at level 1. So it was very annoying to have to grind a character back up from 1 to where they were, and that basically incentivizes that you don't use those characters.
Don't do that.
You don't use those characters. Because it's like, I have these characters. Why, like, or you're like, why would I like upgrade my character's class if he starts at level 1? And it's not even like the cool like level 1 where it's like some of their stats carry over, but like no, it's like they just suck now. Now they switched it back to a unit-based leveling system where you can change your class, but your level stays the same, and it's very good. And full voice acting, great visuals.
From what I understand, it's the PSP port. Like, it's based on the PSP port.
Yes, but it is using it is based off the PSP port, but it's like mechanically it's completely different.
Right. Sorry, it's hot in my room.
You're fine.
So Tactics Ogre, like, it is, I mean, it's obviously a tactics game, but like, how do you rate this one compared to Final Fantasy Tactics?
I don't like it as much, but I like it. Like, they have very similar, they're brothers, but one of the brothers is like a Fortune 500 CEO, and one of them is like doing well for himself.
Okay. He's all right.
He's pretty. He's living his best. He is happy. He is paying his bills, but he's not thriving. He's within his means.
Okay.
Like, Tactics Ogre Reborn is probably better than almost any strategy game you will like that is on the market right now.
I mean, it's a classic for a reason. It's actually, I would imagine, it is a little known classic. I would even say, like, a lot of people, like, I definitely didn't really think about Tactics Ogre that much when I was younger. It was only like recently when I was a little older that I realized that it had like a following. But I imagine a lot of people don't know what Tactics Ogre is.
Well, no, like Tactics Ogre has a very like basically Tactics Ogre fans went to sleep and then they all came back out of the woodwork. They were like,
they woke up.
They're like, Tactics Ogre? Matsuno?
We are here for you. We never left, brother.
I have been waiting for Matsuno to come back. And I just...
I'm thinking about buying it.
You should. It's,
to be honest.
Like, I need to make this clear. Just because I don't think it's as good as Final Fantasy Tactics does not mean I don't think it's great. It is...
Oh, yeah. We're not... Yeah. I'm not saying like oh, well, how does it rate to Tactics? I'm just saying like, since Tactics is like... But like, since Tactics is like...
That
like,
is...
I'm not saying...
That's like my... Like, they are very similar. They're both made by the same guy. But...
Like, not to compare it to be like, well, if it's not as good as Tactics, it's not good at all.
No, I just need to
it's
make
more
that.
so like... Yeah, like, Tactics is like the granddaddy of all Tactics games. So, it's sort of like, how does it compare to what is essentially... conventionally known as like the staple, right? Like the center of that web.
I definitely don't, because like they're so like
they're very different.
No, they're very similar.
Oh, okay.
But Tactics basically takes all of those ideas and iterates on them and makes them better.
Cool.
Like the class system in Tactics Ogre is nice, but it's very basic, and it's like you pick your class, you're that class now. Whereas FF Tactics uses the already established job system where you can like say level up a class and then take some key abilities from that class, change class, and then keep those abilities. Like for example, so like my Ramza in Final Fantasy Tactics, I took him down, I think ninja to, I think that's the dual wielding class. I took him down so I can unlock the dual wielding skill. And then what I did is I switched him to a monk and had him...
So that he had the dual wielding skill as a monk.
So he could basically like dual wield his fists and then just start fucking... He basically unstoppable. Because as a monk, you can get a skill that... And if I mess up the name, I think it's a monk, but it might be like a different version of the monk. But like... So they make it so like barehanded skills do more damage. So then I'm like, all right, so I have this... So any punch does more damage, but then I can punch twice. And then you do insane amounts of damage and you basically one-shot any enemy in the game.
I love monks.
You can do some really fun stuff in FF Tactics where it's a lot more like held back, but it is super admirable and I love it to pieces. Genuinely.
Right.
Like I think this game is great. If you like strategy games at all, this is just buy it.
How's it run on the Steam Deck?
I don't know. I'm playing on Switch.
Oh, well, now there's a reason for me to buy it.
Yeah.
Now there's a reason for me to buy it because now I can report back.
I just know.
Oh, you know what? I could buy it on the Steam Deck. I can download it. I can play it on my flight to Spain.
Hell yeah.
Even though I am also going to be playing the Pokemon game too.
Oh, fuck. We'll get to Pokemon.
We'll get to Pokemon.
I am still deciding if I want to buy it. I don't.
You can use me as an aggregator. I know I'm buying it just for the novelty of playing the Spanish-inspired Pokemon game in Spain.
That's cool. I guess I'm really just like...
I'll report back.
I have been burnt. Oh, here's the thing. There's a window in which I can enjoy Pokemon, and that's basically the first week. And especially this one. Because this is the first Pokemon game where everyone's like, you play together. You can literally, like, you and your buddies explore the entire world together. And it's like, that's really cool. I know for a fact, I love my friends to death. I adore them. I think they're all amazing and wonderful people. They have a lot more free time than me. That game is getting finished by all of them in the first, like, 5 days. And then by the time...
Do you want me to wait for you? Do you want a friend to play with?
Well, but then I have to buy the game.
Like, if you decide you want to buy the game and you want a friend to play with, I would be more than happy to hold off on playing Pokemon for when you're free to play it.
I'll probably be free to play it on Friday unless I'm crunching really hard at work. But also, it's like we'll get to
if we get it on Friday and then we go out of town, there's no fucking way in hell we're gonna be playing together.
Yeah. But if we get it on Friday, then we could play together like immediately.
Right.
On Friday.
And I guess and that'll be fine just the one time, and then you can just go play by yourself afterwards.
I don't know. Look, we'll come back to this.
We'll come back to it.
We'll come back to it. I basically what I'm trying to say is I have been like I've been really like debating hardcore because there are so many other games coming out.
And we've already bought so many of them.
It's like granted, if by the way, thank you for the follow. I don't see the activity feed. PK Saucy 89. That's a sick ass name.
I
Getting
like
saucy with it. But
hey.
But like I'm already like 12 hours into Tactics Ogre. It plays amazing on Switch. Big recommendation. Like it is great port, which it should be, but oftentimes somehow they don't always end up being as smooth as they could be. But it is very fast and it is well made, and I am absolutely adoring everything about Tactics Ogre, and I look forward to playing way more, because the one thing this has over something like FF Tactics, which is a linear story, is that this is a branching story with like almost all your choices have some effect on the narrative, and then when you finish, you can actually like it gives you a like a timeline where you can jump around and make different decisions and go down different paths, but carry over your entire army like in all the levels, I think. And I think it levels up all the other enemies around that as well. It's basically, do you have a drum roll sound effect at all? Do you have anything similar? I can improv around it.
Maybe this one?
Calculating. It is time for the triangle shattedry shit on corner. The Team Asano what the fuck corner. Hey, Japanime, thank you for the sub. Did you see the Game Awards nominations? We are actually talking about the Game Awards in a bit. That. But welcome back to the Asano team's disappointment corner. This won't be long. Basically, it's like if Triangle Strategy wants to be Tactics Ogre so bad.
You said this earlier.
I did. And I will continue to bring it up where...
Please do.
Triangle Strategy is a very fine game. But in a world where a couple months later we get the game it basically just ripped off, it's like, all right, I'm just going to go play this instead. Like, we're in a spot where it's like, we could be sandwiched right now between two very hardcore mediocre games. Triangle Strategy and Fire Emblem Engage. Which I'm optimistic on, but I'm being realistic on at the same time.
That game's gonna be just fan service up the yin yang.
Yep, and you know what? If it is like earnest about it, I'll be fine with it.
If it's unapologetically fan service, yeah.
But like, I think that the way Triangle Strategy handles its morality is very, very, like it's not very good. I think it is a very childish way of handling morality in games. It's fine. Triangle Strategy is not a bad game. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Like every time I've been critical about every time I've been critical about the game on Twitter, I get someone be like, you didn't understand, you don't know how to read, you don't understand it, like you're not good at analysis. Blah. It's like you're coming at me like at an 11, and my energy about this game is like it's very.
It's at a 7.
I'm like.
It's at a 7.
I think I'm like my passion about Triangle Strategy. I'm at a 7. I think it's a good game. Just because someone says it's not the best thing ever does not mean they're attacking you.
It also doesn't mean they don't like the game. It just means it's got a problem.
It means that I think it is a flawed game that could have been better. And it kind of a lot of Asano games, they get in their own way. Please look forward to me talking in depth about Octopath 2 when I review that.
It's going to be let me predict it. It's going to be, this game has some really good systems when it lets me use them.
It looks like Octopath 2 is trying to improve off of Octopath 1. It looks like they're trying. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one. I'm going to get burned again. But I'm going to go in optimistic.
Hey, you know what? At least there's an Octopath Traveler 2. We're still waiting on that Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D thing.
I was about to say, I think we're at like 3 with this game. We will have been at 3 HD 2D releases since it was announced.
Yeah,
which is it has to be next year.
It has to be. It has to be March.
Oh,
no, it's not going to be March.
No, it's going to be end of year.
It's going to be at the start of the next fiscal year for Japan. It's going to be like April, May.
That sounds reasonable.
May sounds about right.
We'll probably see a trailer at the Game Awards if they have good trailers this year.
Yeah, they were going to do some things. Square Enix was going to announce like a bunch of shit somewhere, but I forgot where. RPG Fan retweeted it, but I didn't, like, they tweeted it out, but I looked at it and I completely spaced on it.
We're in this like period of time right now where Square Enix is just bunch of fucking games, non-stop games.
Mm-hmm. And the other game that we were going to talk about, but I wanted to segue to Tactics Ogre, was Harvestella. So, speaking of games that don't run the best on Switch. So, Cullen, you're playing Harvestella on Switch. I am playing it on Steam, on PC.
I am currently reviewing it for RPG Site. They sent it to me a day before it came out.
So and that's a big no-no.
There was that,
everybody.
There was that, but also it was like, we've only got Switch codes. Here you go. And it was like,
they only had Switch codes?
I think if they sent out PC codes, it was on launch. And I was just like, fuck it, why not? I'll play it on Switch.
I mean, that's their loss.
Yeah. I think that game's really good.
That game's great.
I think that game,
Harvestella rocks.
I literally just made a big, huge video about like, well, not literally, it was 3 weeks ago, but I was like, oh, I didn't like Rune Factory. Maybe Harvestella will do it for, and I was right. Harvestella does it for me because Harvestella is not a farming RPG. Harvestella is an RPG with farming in it.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's really good. And the RPG elements, I will say this game is like the definition of light. Like, it is RPG light. It is farming light. It is life sim light. It is all of these very light elements that come together into this nice, fluffy, sort of like enjoyable package, in my opinion. And I gotta tell you, it's been a while since I played a game that was like I guess the word for it is casual.
Yeah.
I guess the word for it is casual, but like
down to earth.
Yeah, like it's been a while since I played a game that was
comfy,
relaxing. Yeah,
like it. Well, and like you could, there's so many games where it's like, oh, this game's really comfy, but it's like Harvestella is so like in the normal like gameplay loop of Harvestella, most of the time you are feeling like,
yeah. You're just sort of, it's very whimsical. Like, you're just sort of like, you go into a dungeon and it's like, I'm going to do the dungeon. And you're just like, yay. And then it's like, I'm going to farm.
Like I said in my Rune Factory video, Rune Factory is a second job, not a vacation.
Yeah.
And like, I would say that Harvestella is like volunteer work at your uncle's farm during the summer.
It's like you decided on a whim, you know what, I'm going to do volunteer work. And then you do it and you're like, there's no stakes in this.
Yeah. It's like,
you know what this is? This is the experience. You know what this is? This is the experience of like going to your, it's like it's like bring your kid to work day and you're the kid.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
pretty
what
much.
this is.
It maintains that really like relaxed tone until you do the bosses. I've only done 2 bosses. How far have you gone?
I did one boss in the demo, and that boss was
intense. Hard. Yes.
Yeah.
So, light spoiler, not actually story spoilers. I'm going to talk about a boss. So, like, that was the first boss. After that chapter, it branches out into about 3 different paths for chapter 2, which is 3 different arcs where it's like you go to a new town and you do a new dungeon, you fight a new boss. I've done one of those. The way the boss progression in Harvestella goes from like, aha, the first boss, it's a guy, he's kind of tough, he's running around and attacking you, to we took a boss from Heaven's Word. We took an end game boss from Heaven's Word.
Oh, that's right. The mechanics for boss fights are like MMO mechanics.
What? Yeah.
That's
and at
right,
first,
right.
on the first boss, I was like, "Oh, this is cute." It didn't like click in place. And now I'm like, "Oh no, this is an MMO fight.
This is the way it's going to be."
Where it's like, and when I say this, I'm talking about like instead of fighting like another guy, you fight something that's like 30 times your like a massive thing on a bunch of different platforms with like gusts of wind that shoot you between different platforms. And you're like, and it's like, this is the second boss of the game. And it ran like shit on Switch.
So on PC, it runs great. Obviously, if your PC's got the hardware for it, it probably doesn't need much either.
No.
That game looks so pretty at 60. I think I actually have it running at 120.
I believe it could rather easily.
It is so nice to play. It feels better. So I played the demo on Switch and then I played it on PC. The combat feels better on PC. Like it feels so smooth. It feels so nice. Like hit feedback is so good.
I will say one of my biggest things about combat is that it starts very simple. Yeah. Almost too simple for its own good. Like you have to unlock a dash.
Yeah.
Per class.
I do think that dodge should have been implemented
universally.
Yeah, and especially because like at the start of the game, it is very much. It almost feels like one of those action turn-based RPG hybrid things.
Yeah,
where it's like you're going to take the damage. You can't get away from
it.
It
is mostly like for most of the game, it is you better tank this damage.
Yeah, so make sure you bring healing items and stuff like that.
But
yeah, like the game looks great. The game runs great. It's funny you brought up the MMO thing because it just clicked to me that a lot of the aesthetic is borrowed from FF14, like a lot of the character designs. But the thing that stood out to me the most, now Harvestella is being made by a bunch of people with a bunch of influences, and they made it as a passion project for like all the different things that they liked. What stood out to me the most is that when you go into a new area, the little montage that plays and the actual level design of the different areas you go to is 100% the Last Remnant.
Really?
It's 100% the Last Remnant. Down to some of the monster designs.
You
gotta play that game.
I own it. I need to act like every time I play it, I'm like, oh yeah, I like this, and then I just don't play
remastered.
Anymore.
It's good. It has the PC bonuses in it as well.
Yeah, but I want to play it on PC.
You can't get it on PC. Well, if you have it already, then you're fine.
Well, yeah, I do. I have it on Switch. I need to just play because the Switch port's good. Like the Switch port is actually pretty good.
Which is surprising because that game chugged on the 360.
Oh yeah,
and on the PC, like it chugged. But yeah, like Harvestella is super good. No complaints.
I feel like I'm very green right now.
That's because your light is green. There, now you're not green anymore.
I feel like I need to fix my webcam.
Don't worry about it. We're moving.
But I think out of all of Square Enix's games as of late, like this one just seems like the most like passion project.
Yeah. And I gotta say, like, again, it's been such a long time since I've played a game where I can kind of sit back and relax. And like it's just a simple, it is a game that is very simple and it gets a little more complex as time goes on, but it doesn't really go beyond that simplicity.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since I've played a game like that feels good to play. Sometimes I'm underwhelmed by stuff like that. But in this game, it's like it's presented in exactly the way it wants to be taken as, which is it's not trying to be more complex. It's trying to stay in that realm of simplicity. And it reminds me a lot of the games that I like. It reminds me a lot of Dragon Quest. It reminds me, like, the level design reminds me of The Last Remnant. The character designs remind me of FF14. It really does seem like it is what it says on the tin or what the creators say it is on the tin. And man, it's been a while since I've played an RPG and or slash life sim game that didn't overpromise me anything. And it's just a nice good time. It's hard to quantify like the feeling I get from Harvestella. But it's just this very relaxing, very like set your own pace kind of game that doesn't pretend to be deep or doesn't pretend that time is of the essence. It's like, no, like do things at your pace. Story events will happen, but honestly, like you can finish them whenever you need to.
Apparently, I looked into it a little bit just now. Harvestella in Japan, physical only, we need to make this clear, sold about 26,000 copies, which nobody buys games and this is Switch only.
That's good.
Physical copies aren't typically, like, no one really buys physical copies of games. That's for one. And it still did like number 2 the week it came out.
That's great.
That's like, I'm sure this game did okay. Like, I'm sure they're
like, it is worth noting it is the second best selling game of like it's between Dealfield Chronicle, Valkyrie Elysium, Tactics Ogre.
I'm so
That's the
sad
second
about-
best selling game.
I'm so sad about Dealfield, man.
Listen, we got Harvestella and we lost. We lost.
Dealfield
some
had to
great titles.
die so Harvestella could live.
This kind of we talked about this last podcast where we were like, dude, what is happening with like the marketing and this is just the reality we're living in. I think they shored up. Oh my god, I forgot to put this on the docket.
What?
I get the feeling they did this to shore up funds for
Crypto?
their NFT game.
How so?
I think they skipped out on marketing for a lot of these things because they were going to do a big push with their NFT game.
I mean, it could be.
I think that might be what happened.
It's fucked up. We live in a world where Triangle Strategy is mostly positive reviews on Steam and Dealfield Chronicle is
Middling.
mostly negative. You don't appreciate what you got.
Can you blame the situation though on those people? Because I would blame the fact that like just nobody knows that game exists.
Yeah.
You know? Nobody knows that game exists. People know Triangle Strategy exists because they marketed the shit out of that one.
Well, that's because Nintendo did all of it for them.
Nintendo did it for them, yeah.
Let's see.
Similar reason with like Harvestella, where Harvestella did okay in terms of marketing because Nintendo pushed the hell out of it. And the worst part is that game runs like shit on Switch.
Always does.
So like it's super weird. But yeah. Anyways, what else have you been playing this week, Cullen?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna talk about Sonic.
Okay.
But first,
you want to save it for when I get to the Sonic?
Yeah.
Since we both played it.
We've both been playing Sonic.
Okay. Do you want me to just start talking about what I've been playing?
I need to go on my Gundam talk.
Okay.
A lot.
Everybody pull up a chair. Grandpa Cullen's gonna talk about Gundams.
When was the last podcast episode?
A month ago.
I'm gonna confirm. I believe you, but I'm gonna confirm just to get the
I want to say it was a month ago.
I think it was exactly a month ago. Let me it was October 13th, 2022.
Which was that week's Wednesday. Which was a month ago.
Literally a month ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think at the time I was talking a bit about like, oh, I've been watching this like Gundam 00 show and all this. Like, I think it might have been because I was in a really bad crunch period. But essentially, I stopped wanting to play games. That was another thing. I've only been playing games like hardcore again since like November started.
Mm-hmm.
What I would do mainly is I started watching anime, like a bunch of fucking anime. I got through all of Gundam 00. I got through all of the Gundam compilation movie trilogy. I got a big chunk of the way into Space Runaway Ideon. I started Gundam Wing.
You got into Gunpla.
I got bad into Gunpla. Like I got really, hold on.
Don't drop it this time. He showed me earlier, and he showed me earlier, like a few days ago. He showed it to me and a couple friends, and he totally dropped his fucking Gundam on the ground. Chat. Make sure you laugh at him.
So, okay.
Oh yeah, buddy.
All right. I'm gonna rank my recent Gundam kits that I've built from
Not as good as my backlog, but
from best to worst. Best has to be the Master Grade Curios from Gundam 00. Put a pin in that.
Okay, we're putting a pin in it.
Second best is the Master Grade Dynames from.
Yo, that's a really good build.
It was a pretty good build. This is my first build when I came back, and I thought this was good. The Curios is better though. This is the second, but the Master Grade Dynames from Gundam 00. That pin better still be there.
It's in there.
Next is the real grade the real grade Force Impulse Gundam from, I think this is from Seed Destiny. This is a bit of a okay, granted, it was only after this kit that I actually got one of those nippers that you should
say side cutters.
Side cutters? That yeah.
Don't use that other word.
Why?
Apparently that's a bad word.
Really? Did I say a
apparently
slur?
it's offensive. A lot of people don't know. But I've been told that not to use that word, apparently.
What about clipper?
Clippers is fine. Yeah, side clippers. You can say clippers.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the first time I didn't have a clipper for this one, and this kit is undergated, which means that the piece of plastic likes to hold on under it, which is terrible. Awful, because it makes it harder for the pieces to click together. It means that you basically have to sand all your pieces or get very down in with the clippers. So this was recommended to me highly. I did not enjoy my build of this. So this was third. This is, I think my camera's fucking flipped. God damn it. I've shown my whole ass.
No, actually, no. It doesn't matter.
No, on stream it is. That's what matters.
That's fine.
So this is the Figure-Eye Standard Alphamon. And I was like, this box looks fucking dope. For those of you who don't know Gunpla, there are different grades. There is a high grade, which is the simplest to build. There is the real grade, which is about the size of a high grade, 1 to 144. Digimon does have Gunpla because Bandai makes Gunpla for everything. Or is that the
high grade?
High grade. Then there's the real grade. I imagine that's what you're holding in your hand, the real grade Crossbone Gundam. Which is the size of the high grade, but it has the complexity of the master grade. I'm sure he's gonna go get a master grade. I showed the boxes for some of the master grade. The master grades are typically the 1 to 100 scale ones. They are probably, in my opinion, the best Gunpla build you're gonna get. But if you're a beginner, definitely start at high grade.
Master grade.
They have a master grade Zoid.
All the Zoids are all master grades, pretty much.
Now, but does it? You know what? Okay, I'll give you that one. That actually looks like a decently complex build.
Yeah. No, this is a big one. This is a big boy.
Which is fucked up because when I saw this. Oh yeah, and then there's perfect grade, which are huge. So when I saw this, and I think this was meant to be 100 scale. Sometimes Bandai likes to do this thing where they will essentially make a 1 to 100 scale, but with the complexity of a high grade. So you're basically just getting a big but very simple and sloppy build. That's what this is. That's what this kit is. It is very pretty to look at. It is a very basic build, and I did not enjoy it. I really did not like this. Typically, my brain does not actually. Oh wow, GC coming with even more. What you got? What you got right there? Is that Nexia?
All right, so these are my these are the
No,
this is my
Nexia.
backlog of master grades. I have more Zoids in there, but I just wanted to bring it out because I thought it'd be a really funny image if we were both holding up boxes.
Oh wait,
Just
let me go get the one I just bought. It's on my kitchen counter.
Yeah, go for it. So this is my backlog. There's a lot more in my backlog, but this is like a piece of my backlog, everybody. So I got the master grade GM. I think this is Gym 2. I can't remember if it's Gym 2 or Gym. It's not the first gym. It's one of them, right? And then I've got the Gundam Age 2 Darkhound, which is a pirate because I like pirates, so I always pick up pirate Gundam designs.
See, I typically...
Then I got the Jesta and the gun cannon.
That's pretty sick. I typically do not buy kits from series I don't enjoy unless they're Seed, because I think Seed is like, despite Seed apparently being a piece of shit, they have really good mecha designs. That's why I bought
They spent all of their money on designs.
Yeah.
And no money on story.
So this is the one I just bought recently, which is the real grade High New Gundam. It is from a manga based off of Tomino's original idea for it's either a manga, well, I think it became a manga anyway, of Char's Counterattack. I heard really good things about this kit. It is a bigger high grade. Typically high grades are about the size, real grade. Typically real grades are about the size of a high grade, but if the Gundam it's based off of is already huge, then you're
remember that it's to scale. So,
it's to scale. Typically,
so if the Gundam is big, then the real grade is big.
Typically though, real grades are about the size of most high grades. That's what you can typically expect. Except
for the Crossbone, which is markedly smaller because it is a tiny Gundam boy.
Yes. Which is why I don't want to buy a Crossbone kit, is because it
was a pain in the ass to build.
Yeah. So
I'm totally doing it again to paint it.
This is what I'm building right now. I've been really excited for this kit for ages, and I got it for a really good price. And then I found out right after that they're making a titanium version, but it's like double the price, so I still think I won out in the end.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to buy the regular model, and then the special model you buy after you build the regular one.
I just don't think...
so you can have both and side by side them.
I don't think I'd build one again. See, one of the things for me is I like displaying them, but I'm all about the build. And then when I am a very ADHD child, where it's like I build it, and then I'm like, I built it. And I don't really touch it up too much. And I just go, I did it. Now move on to next one because I want to build again.
That's how you feel right now. But then you realize that part of the building process is the painting.
I don't paint
and the decaling.
I don't put
decals.
Well,
not right now, but I'm getting close. I'm getting close to learning how to paint because like in my head I'm like I really want this to look good and the build doesn't have to end. And that's where my brain goes. But anyway, do you want to hold up all your boxes?
Sure.
So that we can thumbnail this?
We're not doing it for the thumbnail, but I could at the very least like take a screenshot and then post this on Twitter. Dope. Anyway,
there you go.
So where this came from was I watched Gundam 00, a show that I was not terribly like excited for right away. Like I tried to watch it earlier and I was like, I couldn't get through it. I'm making the tweet right now. So, I wasn't like, I needed something to do, and like I wanted a Gundam to watch, but I didn't want to watch one with a bunch of strings attached. So I was like, okay, well I could give Gundam 00 another shot. I bounced off after about 12 episodes because I thought nothing happened, and so I'm watching. I'm like, this is pretty alright, and I get about to the point and I stopped again, and then I keep watching, and I'm like, it's pretty good. And I keep watching. You know, it was a very like slow realization. Although it was like this is fun, I guess. And like I'm getting through. Like it took me about a week. Like I only watch a couple episodes a day because I wasn't that invested yet. I get about to episode 14, and I start watching it again. I then proceeded to binge the entire rest of the show in about like 5 days.
What else did you binge of Double O?
What do you mean?
Then you watched the movie.
Oh yes. Okay, I'm getting there. So I've heard from people the big, like, the way people talk about Gundam 00 is that it's like the first season was pretty good, the second season was mid or bad, and the movie was garbage. And you know, because everybody likes to hive mind think tank, they just all regurgitate that same garbage opinion. Because what essentially it is that season 1 was interesting, season 2 lost the plot, and then the movie, which is a sequel to this show, was nonsense because there are aliens in it. When in reality, season 1 sets the ground, season 2 shows the consequences, and like it takes you to, this is like, season 1 is like, hey, war is bad, and it's a people preemptively going. Not even preemptively, but basically like, so the whole plot of Gundam 00 is that this group of people called Celestial Being introduce themselves to the world by saying, we will stop war with armed interventions. And a lot of Gundam 00 Season 1 is about the politics of the world slowly unfurling, and like everybody's like giving their opinions on what's going on, and then people are being like, stopping war with violence, that's silly. And it's like, you know, they're building it up, and then season 2 is a time skip that is basically like, hey, full on fascism, the world is under a dictatorship, and it's like, this is why you need no, it's not American peacekeeping as a plot. No. So imagine this group of individuals. Quite the opposite. You have people like that who essentially use the idea, like, because this group, Celestial Being, is the way I described it, made it seem like these were the antagonists. These are your protagonists. You have they basically took a bunch of trauma boys, hot ass trauma boys, and who hate war. And their whole thing is, we hate war, we're getting in our robots. And if you are someone who actively like engages in acts of war, or try to, like, if we catch you slipping and doing things that disrupt peace or fuck people over, we will come and kill you. And so a lot of people are like just talking. It's like, Celestial Being, I don't really get it. And as I'm watching, I'm just like, oh, this is a story where the protagonists are right, and they're so fucking right. And then the story goes, yeah, they're pretty right. And like, at first you're like, okay, so maybe they're trying to do something here where they're like, they're flawed. And no, and what the writers are doing is they're saying, hey, we're writing this in 2008 as a direct response to the wars in the Middle East, and how everyone basically fucked over the Middle East really hard for their own benefit. And the writers are basically saying, hey, you have to be willing to fucking fight fascists, and you have to be willing to fight people who try to actively take the rights of others away. Like, sitting there doing nothing. Like, you have to be willing.
It's a show, because it's Gundam, of course it's violence, but metaphorically, it is essentially saying that you have to be proactive in your fight against fascism.
You have to actively fight.
You have to punch a Nazi.
Yeah, it is saying punch that fucking Nazi.
Yeah. It's not saying like outright terrorism, but it's saying violent protest is a valid strategy.
Yes, because that's the thing. Celestial Being they're not terrorists. Like,
no, they're interventionists.
Yes, exactly. Where they fly around in a spaceship around the world with a supercomputer.
Look for conflict that's already going, and they put a stop to conflict.
Even better, they have a supercomputer that can predict the conflicts.
Sick.
And it's dope. So I'm watching it slowly but surely, and I'm like, this is interesting, but it's like, it's kind of simplistic, and I'm watching it, and then I'm starting to get what they're doing, and then
you slowly start to lean forward
yeah,
in your
no,
chair.
pretty much.
And
And then it wasn't until like the final episode, because I was starting to get invested, and then the final episode of season 1 drops. Oh, I watch it and I'm like, I start crying and I'm like, oh wait, no, I think I love this show. And everyone acts like season 2 is this like big mess. But no, season 2 is like, okay, so we celestial being, we didn't do a good enough job.
Is season 2 basically, do you think it's they don't view season 2 as like as good because season 2 is the shit's fucked arc?
Season 2 is the shit is fucked. Like it is basically, the team needs to take a hiatus between season 1 and 2. It's about as general as I can say.
Okay.
And they realize that they get together and like, you know what? We messed up. We made a mistake. We needed to battle fascism harder. We didn't go far enough, and we let all this shit happen. Now we need to go even harder. And
Jesus Christ.
And they're like, it is a bunch of people who realized that they gave an inch and they need to take the mile back.
Okay.
It is like they go as far to be like, okay, so they're even like they get so radicalized that they're like, those old celestial being dudes, nah, we're celestial being. We give a shit about the mission. We're back, baby. And as this goes, it is not just violence. It is one of those shows that has a very good, like, it is an understanding of, because a lot of like shows that deal with war typically will like spout, it's like, if you fight back, you're just as bad as the oppressors, dude.
It is very much a violence begets violence argument from a lot of those shows.
Which technically it does. But most of the people who write stories like that, their solution is like, that's why you just don't fight. Whereas what Gundam 00 and smarter works that try to do that go, okay, but you cannot reason with someone who wants to take your rights away.
You can't
reason with Nazis.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. Like, if you try, they will take advantage of you. Straight up. They will, like, they will not, like, they will use your ignorance to oppress you. And so you finish, that is the kind of a bit of the conclusion that Gundam 00 comes to, which is that you have to be proactive to get the fuckers out who are selfish and want to ruin the world for their own like selfish gain. And that's when peace can begin. Like, peace cannot become, there's a really good quote.
You cannot build peace off of war.
Yes. It is, the whole message of the show is peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but you cannot understand people who don't want to be understood.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a really smart show in that regard.
Mm-hmm. And I expressed some skepticism of it when you were just starting into the series, but the more I hear about it, the more it sounds like a lot more like cohesively that thing.
Yeah.
Because it's easy, like it's easy to misinterpret that or
oh yeah, because
to think,
you have a
this is
version
not
that kind of does, and that's called Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Yeah, and then but like you showed me the first like intro to the first episode, like the first like 5 minutes of the first episode make it very clear what the show is about, and the opening minutes of that first episode is a kid who's very clearly from the Middle East being sieged upon by mechs. And he has a little gun.
He is, okay, so one of the, like, I think Gundam 00 is probably the most bold Gundam has ever gotten, and it is probably some of the most bold anime has ever gotten, because it is, the writers are so like,
one of the main villains of that show, one of the main like villain factions is just straight up America.
Yeah. Like
it's just straight up America.
Like okay. Because typically Gundam is broken up in different universes, and they're typically based off of like the century, like universal century, like different, to make it clear, like, oh, this takes place in this other like possibility, and we call it the universal after colony, like whatever. And this is Anno Domini. The writers are like, this is our world, these are our problems. 300 years after now, this shit will only get worse, and this is what we like
expect.
This, and the writers are so confident in their own message, and they're so adamant and passionate about it. It's like, we made our protagonist a Middle Eastern guy in 2008 in an anime. Like, they're so like, no one but him, like he is so like, because his whole thing is he was a war orphan, pretty much. He was a child soldier who got brainwashed into committing like terrorism by people who wanted to monger war and take advantage of him and use him and other kids like him to like help them out. And it's like, like GC said, the first scene is a flashback of him in a war zone while propaganda is blaring out
through like the mech speakers.
Yes, and it's like, your sacrifices are worthy. It's like, you will die for God. It's like all this shit, and it's like, oh my God.
It's very blatant, and it's combining. What I thought was very cool was that it was combining a lot of like basically a lot of like the way America characterized terrorist factions from like the 2000s era. They used that to characterize the American faction, and so they kind of condemn. What they end up doing is they end up condemning the extremist groups in that situation, like the warmongering extremist groups, and it's sort of not defending either side. It is literally a story about the people affected by war. Whether it's affected by one side of the war or the other side of the war, it doesn't matter. And that's what brings the sort of like, that's what breeds and creates that group that the story follows along. It's a group that gets into the middle of a conflict between two factions,
but it doesn't go centrist.
Neutralizes it, and it doesn't go centrist.
Which is the most important part, is that it is like it like the main characters are essentially above politics, because they realize that a lot of this shit is like people doing little things for their own gain, and it is it is people about like, they are people who want to protect humanity, and it is against the concept of war. For anyone who's just popping into the stream, we're talking about Gundam 00.
It becomes very clear what they're trying to do in the first few minutes of the first episode. Enough to convince me, based on what Cullen has been saying, that it's a show that is very critical of America during the aughts.
It is
during the 2000s,
and more so than just America. It's going for
world powers at large.
Yes, because like it is so. And I'm looking forward to rewatching it. I'm basically going to try to beg my girlfriend to watch the entire thing with me, because I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I'm watching, it's pretty all right. She got me the DVDs ages ago when we were at an anime convention, and then like I came back to her like I was like, so I just watched all of Gundam 00 and it's my favorite show ever made.
You gotta watch it.
No, but like, I genuinely believe this is one of my top like 3 shows. This is now like essential Cullen media. And then I went into season 2 and I was like, okay, so everyone says this is bad, I'll see what I think. And I was like, no, season 2 is my favorite. Season 2 is better than season 1. And then I was like, I'm looking forward to the anime movie. And then everyone in my my mentions was like, oh, get ready, the movie sucks, dude. they got aliens, and it's like, it's just stupid. And I was like, okay, well, I go into stuff with an open mind, but I'll be a little wary. And so I sit here and I'm watching my movie.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, this is pretty good so far. It's like a long episode of Gundam 00. And I'm sitting here, slowly but surely, a little high. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I get to, I get like, I will say, it has a seemingly very abrupt ending. Where at first I was like, oh, that's why it's bad. Oh, because it cut to credits. Where this after this big thing happens, that sucks. And I'm like sitting through the credits, and I was just thinking about the movie, but it's like, oh yeah, this was pretty all right. Overall, I liked it. And then there's a pretty lengthy-ish post-credit scene, and the post-credit scene is essentially, and season 2 does this as well. But more than that, it's like, these are the messages of our show. We had a plan of how we think we could fix the world. And we put it to plan, like, in this fictional reality. And unlike most shows like this, which basically wallow in self-pity of the idea that's like, humanity sucks and we're all nothing.
Fatalism.
It's like, I love Tomino.
Instead of fatalism.
I love Tomino. I think he's very good, but I'm so sick of all these shows being like, this is my plan, but it would never work because humanity's garbage. The writers of 00 believe that people are like, it believes people are good, there are bad actors, but people have the capacity to be good. You should just kill those bad actors. But once they're out of the way, really, it is like, this is our plan. And we started, and we fit, like, this is what we think. And then I sat there and I started crying. And I was like, Gundam 00 Awakening of the Trailblazer is one of my favorite movies of all time now. Genuinely baffled how people didn't get it. I heard so many people say it's like, oh, because it's about an alien invasion, what the fuck? It went off the rails. Like, no, they very clearly, like, from season 1, they're like, this is where the story will go. And a bunch of people who can't read said, the story after season 1 went nowhere where I expected. They didn't set this up at all. And it's like, it was there the entire time. They lined up. They showed you the script. They said, this is how our story ends. And then people were like, that's garbage. That's bad. That's nonsense. And I sat there as someone who knows media literacy, and I said, best show ever made. I don't think Gundam...
So basically, Cullen really likes Gundam now.
I have decided, maybe this will be a next year thing. I kind of want to make a Gundam 00 retrospective.
Do it.
I'm thinking about it.
Do it. Become an anime tuber.
No. That's the thing. I don't want to be an anime tuber. But
I'll just make one video.
I want to be like, if I ever make videos on anime, it'll be on my 2 favorite anime shows.
Code Geass?
No.
Okay.
But that's number 3.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I got into Gundam, is that I watched all of Code Geass in like 2 weeks. I rewatched it, and I was like, that sure is one of the best shows ever made. And then my friends were like, Gundam 00 is basically its sister show. And I was like, I probably won't like it as much as Code Geass, but I guess I'll give it a shot. And then I was like, this is better than Code Geass. But no, it's Darker Than Black, season 1, and then Gundam 00. And it's like those 2 shows right there, that's peak for me. So I think I might down the road make this like retrospective of all of Gundam 00 and just call it Gundam 00 My Beloved. Just perfect show. Perfect. I literally have no problems with Gundam 00. Like,
that's awesome.
I watched it and I went, no. I don't have any
That's
issues.
awesome. I'm glad that there's a show out there that you could look at and go, this is my perfection.
Yeah. Which is why like I don't have that besides like again, it's Darker Than Black because that's another show I watched all. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen Darker Than Black, hop on Darker Than Black. The show fucking rules. Would you like it if the people who made Cowboy Bebop made another?
Huh.
And then instead of every episode being its own little thing, it's every 2 episodes are its own unique story arc, and it's animated by Studio Bones.
Huh.
Dude, that show rules.
I gotta sit down and watch some stuff. I'm in a mood to not like play games right now.
I was in the same mood, and then I started watching anime.
I'm in the mood to start watching some shit.
Darker Than Black rules. Season 2's garbage because they basically didn't. They threw out everything that worked about season 1.
All right.
But so I've been on a massive Gundam kick, and I'm still thinking about Gundam 00 to this very day, a month after I started watching it.
You started also watching Wing.
I started watching Wing a couple days ago. I'm watching the dub on Hulu, and I'll have it.
Big O's the shit. They ripped off the Flash Gordon theme for the intro.
But what?
The theme for Big O. Olivia's watching Big O.
Oh, okay.
The theme for Big O is the theme from Flash Gordon. They just ripped it off.
Wing is worse 00. That's why I'm watching it. But it is 00 is good Wing, but Wing is very fun. Have you ever watched Gundam Wing?
No, I haven't seen any Gundam except for G Gundam.
It is so hammy. It is basically like Gundam 00 is for like at least teenagers. Wing seems like similar like ideas of like how war works, but made for kids. So but like it keeps all of the killing, but it treats its audience like they are children because that was the intended audience, I think.
I think it is sort of a thing, and the reason why I don't get into Gundam is that I think a lot of Gundam series are sort of told in that style of like juvenile like perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the reason I can't get into Gundam in a lot of cases, or why I never got into Gundam, because I always like saw like these serious conversations unfolding, but like then you would have like English voice actors dubbing it like it was a cartoon.
And that is Wing.
And that for me is the reason why I probably would have I have a big problem with watching a lot of things dubbed in English for that reason, because a lot of, especially from that era, a lot of stuff that is meant to be taken seriously is performed like it's a cartoon, because that's what they thought it was. And that's what they assumed it was being. I
will say I'm not huge on the dub of Wing, but also I like it, and I think it's very charming, and I'm like, I'll put it on.
I'm here, so come and kill me!
Hero! I'm here, so come and kill me! But I watch it while I program now, so I have it on the side so I can hear it and like kind of watch it while I like, do my thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, Gundam 00 has a very good dub. It is a very good dub. Surprisingly great dub.
Probably because they saw the material, and it's hard to confuse that for anything else.
But also, like, because Gundam 00 knows when it wants to be silly.
Yeah, it probably has good tone setting.
Well, yeah, it's like, so the characters who are hammy are, like, the dub actors, they ham it up, and it's really great. But, like, again, it knows. Whereas Wing is everybody's a goofball, and it kind of fits the show just a little bit. But I should just probably stop talking about Gundam. I really like.
Or else this will just be a Gundam podcast.
We're already an hour and a half in, baby.
Yeah, of course. So what else have you been playing, or do you want to pass it off to me?
You want to talk about Sonic?
I kind of do want to talk about Sonic, but I do also want to get into my week once we finish Sonic.
Oh, I mean, I was saying we use Sonic to go into your
segue to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. We've been playing Sonic Frontiers. Cullen, what do you think about Sonic Frontiers?
That game fucking rules.
That game's pretty good.
It's everything I wanted.
It's pretty fun. It's everything you wanted. It is everything I could have asked for. It is not the most impressive thing. It is not the most like
here's the thing though.
Cool thing, but for Sonic,
I say this because I feel like a lot of people tend to get very disparaging when it comes to talking about Sonic games. Where they're like, the badness is part, like the jank is part of the, but like they do it in like a mean way. Whereas I genuinely do appreciate that these games are a tiny bit rough around the edges, because I think it kind of makes them a bit more like, the scrappiness of Sonic is one of the things that I think makes Sonic work. But I'm not saying like, oh, I forgive all the flaws, because like you could nitpick like bugs and glitches for a game like this. I am enjoying this way more than I did like fucking Mario hat boy throw, what I can
Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, like way more than Odyssey.
Wow. See, I disagree. I think Sonic Frontiers is a solid 7 out of 10. Like that's me. That's it on my scale.
And that,
to like sum
no,
it up.
but that's the thing.
It's also you.
That's what.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like,
yeah. Like it's a good thing in my opinion.
The soul. Like that.
So
yeah,
we should probably get into it. Like, the game is not a traditional Sonic game. It is not a game of levels. It is not anything like that. In fact, I actually was surprised to find out that the traditional Sonic levels that are in the game are actually kind of in the background.
Yep.
So you can access them, and part of the game is accessing those levels and doing those levels, because you need to complete certain objectives in those levels, like beat it in this time, get all the red coins or the red rings, get this ranking in it, whatever, in order to collect keys to obtain Chaos Emeralds. But the crux of the game, the majority of the game, is playing in the open world playground that you can access those levels from. And that whole area is pretty fun. The platforming areas and like the little things that you can do in there, you it's basically a collectathon. Like it's basically Sonic Frontiers is basically a Sonic collectathon game. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm surprised it wasn't a collectathon in the past. I'm surprised that Sonic has never tried to be a collectathon before, because it works really well for Sonic. Because really the point of Sonic is not necessarily to go fast, it's the platforming, but you also want him to go fast. But you also cannot go fast and also have a lot of platforming segments, because the whole point of going fast is that you're not there for a long time. So the entire world is littered with platforming challenges that are all built around reaction.
It is
reaction
like,
and speed.
If you have ADHD, this game is like a... It is. It's like a fidget toy.
It's a fucking fidget spinner.
Yep.
On a controller. Like it is like every 2 seconds there's something new to do and unlock. And for some people that's really tedious and that can get really annoying.
Oh, but I love it.
Totally fair. But for a Sonic game, for a Sonic game to be this like stuff, you can do things, you can collect things, you can. And there's a reason to collect them too. Like it's really quick. It's not like I always complain about the Korok Seed puzzles in Breath of the Wild. They're not as simple as the Korok Seed puzzles in Breath of the Wild. They're a little more involved. You actually have to show some kind of mastery. One and two, because Sonic is fast and the platforming segments and the challenges are fast, you're not taking a long time to do them.
Yep.
So it is mastery without taking up so much of your time, but you still feel like you're actually playing a video game when you're collecting all these things. And then the collectibles are actually used almost immediately for more story beats, for making Sonic stronger, for making him faster.
I'm really
like,
glad
permanently
that we have this like you're very good at like analysis for stuff like this, because I'm playing this game right now and I think I'm thinking all this, but really I'm just like,
it's fun.
Yeah, no, like here's the thing. A lot of people will sit on their high horse and be like, Sonic Adventure 1 is a big... You know what's so cool about Sonic Adventure 1?
Mm-hmm.
Existing in the space. Like, genuinely. Like, hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like... And you could sit here and be like, oh, the gameplay of Sonic Frontiers, and there's all these bugs and glitches, and some of it's not, but it's like, they get it, though. With this one, they get it.
there is something here that I want them to do again.
Yes,
and I've never felt that way about a fucking 3D Sonic game in my entire life. And I have not played a lot of them, to be fair. I've played Generations, I've played both adventure games, I played some of Unleashed, okay? But this is the first time I've played a Sonic game and I go, do that again.
Yep.
Do that again. Do that again. I want to see the second try. Do this again.
And I think what's great, because some people are hearing a lot of the sentiment of, oh, there's so many good ideas here, I want to see them do it better next time, as, oh, so it's a tech demo. It's like, no.
I mean, okay, wait, hold on. It definitely feels like the game was made in Speed Tree, because it was. And I will admit, there is a jarringness of the platforming puzzles with that greenish area, like the greenery. I'm not going to say that doesn't stand out as like an obvious, like, okay, this is a mismatch in aesthetics, but they are trying something and the story is attempting something, and they make it make sense in context.
Yes, this is the most different Sonic has been in ages.
And I appreciate that so much.
And it feels earnest in doing it. And I think that's what's important, is that they're trying a lot and they're succeeding in almost all of them. And we're all saying, oh, if you iterate on this, it's going to be even better.
But, so a lot of things that I was hoping for are actually in the game. I was like, they should do like the combat. Combat was one of the biggest things I was worried about, because Sonic combat for me sucks. I hate fighting enemies in Sonic. So when they said, oh, you're going to be fighting enemies and they're going to have health bars and all this, I was worried, right? But what they actually did is that they took the concepts that they had in animations of Sonic, where like there's like the Sonic CD thing or whatever. Like if you've ever seen like the little Sonic cartoon where Sonic spins around an enemy to like kill it, to generate like a force field that blows it up or whatever, they have that in the game. They have a little cyclone thing where if you go around an enemy, you generate like a thing and it hurts them. Or they have like, or Sonic can kick so fast that he can create like energy beam things, like Sonic Boom kicks or whatever, right? He has like combos, and if he gets, and as he does combos, like as he starts punching and kicking, he gets faster. He literally builds speed hitting things. Like it's not just, oh, I run fast. No, I can fight fast too. And as he fights faster and faster, he goes into like a Phantom Rush mode where he does extra damage. There's like combo moves you can unlock where after you dodge, you can do the zigzag thing. And that's you dodging attacks by the enemy to get close to him. You can do like aerial stomps as finisher for combos. You can do parries. Like the game actually considers the character that Sonic is in the gameplay that you do.
They went full 3D.
Well.
Yeah, they went full 3D, like open zone, and then they stopped to think, okay, let's readapt how like Sonic for this environment. Because they could have very easily just made it's like, oh, it's Mario. He's the same guy. He's like it's like Sonic. He does the no. It's like they clearly
He's Sonic.
He
can run up walls.
It's like. And like the physics are really fun, and I'm just like let's say I'm trying to do one of like the platforming challenges, like get up really high in one of these things. If I fall off, I'm not like, oh, I'm so mad. I'm just like, oh, I get to do it. Like, okay, let me just do it again. It's fun.
It takes 2 seconds to get back there.
Yeah, it's
because you're Sonic, and you go fast,
and you're like grinding on the rails all around and like travel like it. I have spent,
and completing challenges unlocks like the faster the rail travel. The only thing. Not having fast travel in that game is somewhat of a pain in the ass. You can unlock a form of fast travel in it, but you can't actually fast travel to individual points on a map. And that's like the one thing this game is missing that I feel like, because at first it's like, oh, okay, I'll just get on the rails or whatever. But then you realize you're on those rails for a long time. So that's like one of those things about the game that's like, kind of iffy. And then sometimes the physics is a little weird with combat. There's one boss that every time I fight it on the last phase of it, I just cannot get over. Like it's always the third phase. This first and second phase are fine, but always on the third phase, I guess like the trajectory of you going up just never matches the way it should. There's these little things.
There are a lot of little things.
Mm-hmm.
like for example, I'm not huge on the traditional Sonic stages, like the boost stages. I think they're fine. I definitely think they used to, like, I think homing attacks are, they slow your momentum down way too much, and that's
to the point where you don't want to use them.
Yeah, but you kind of need to sometimes. It's weird, but I'm not really spending a lot of time replaying those. I have a bunch of friends who are like, they try to like S rank and get all the things right away as soon as they do them. Like I do it. I do it. I do it once, see what I get, and if I need more, I'll go back and maybe clean one up. But I'm spending most of my time just hanging out in the overworld.
Because it's fun, and also that's where you get the collectibles that push the story. That's where you get those little the hearts, and then you give those hearts to people, and then they tell you more story.
Yeah.
And I wish, and yeah, like I kind of wish it was a little more organic than that. And like it definitely feels like a tech demo in those regards, but it is still very predominantly a game.
Oh yeah, no,
like it is like... trying to be a video game. The problem is that it's not. I think what's burning a lot of people on it is that because it's Sonic, they assume it's going to be a AAA thing, but I don't actually think Sonic is a AAA franchise. I'm gonna say it. I actually don't think I think Sonic's a little too big for his britches. And I think this is the first game that understands that and isn't trying to overpromise or be more than it actually is. Like compare this to like Sonic Forces, where Sonic Forces was marketed like this huge, like epic fucking Sonic story and this and that, and the game is like 2 seconds long.
3 hours long, yeah.
It's like a 3 hour long.
I was gonna say though, this is the closest I think that Sonic has ever gotten to AAA.
Yeah. And it granted it's aping off of Breath of the Wild and stuff like that, but it's doing it in a way that feels unique to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair. I think that is something worth commemorating. If this was the last Sonic game, I would be sad. If this was the last Sonic game like this, I would be disappointed. But this is the first fucking Sonic game that I've ever played that I'm like, yeah, I could keep playing this. Oh yeah, I definitely want to come back to play more of this.
Yeah, this is making me go, oh, I do like Sonic.
This is not making me go, I like Sonic.
Oh no, I like Sonic. I'm a Sonic fan now.
But this is basically what I felt. Let me put it this way. This is what I felt Sonic Adventure could have been. This is what I feel, because I liked Sonic Adventure okay. And I was like, this is missing something in these big open world thing, and this is missing some level of like interaction between me and the world that I'm in. I think this is, if Sonic Adventure's overworld felt like Sonic Frontiers' overworld and still had all that other shit in it, that would make an incredible Sonic game. And if they build more levels, like actual Sonic levels, around the fact that Sonic can do combat, and they got away from this thing of like Sonic levels have to be 1.5 minutes long, because that's the problem, right? It's like these Sonic levels are fun, but they're 1.5 minutes long. And I like that the fact that they're 1.5 minutes long, but part of me really wishes there was an actual level that took longer than 1.5 minutes. Yes, but not Werehog.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like
more variety. You want the boost stages to be there, but also a different kind of Sonic level.
How about a stage that starts off as a boost stage and then puts me in an arena? And then I have to fight enemies as fast as I can to get back onto the boost stage.
That'd be kind of neat.
So I'm still being graded on my time, right? So my combos and me performing well still matters, right? But I'm not just doing 1.5 minutes little bite-sized thing, which is okay in this regard. But again, this is very much the game. Like we were saying, there needs to be a sequel.
Yes.
I want a sequel, and I want to see it better. Because this could very easily be better, and that was the thing that stood out to me the most playing this so far. Is I like what I'm seeing, I like what I'm playing. Immediately, I know how this could be better. Immediately, there are places this could be improved.
Probably one of the best 7 out of 10s I've played all year.
A hard 7 out of 10, a heavy 7 out of 10.
Well, that's the thing though. There's been a lot of heavy, hard 7 out of 10s, but like that's the kind of shit that I like. Like that's what
that's most games.
Well, no, but okay. There's a difference between like
it lacks polish.
A low 7 and a high 7. There's a very big. There's a difference between this is fine, and then this one where it's like, I fuck with what you're cooking. on a spiritual level, it could be a bit more polished, but I get it. I see the vision. I fuck with this. I love you.
Show me more.
A 7 with soul. That's exactly what I was gonna. I have this idea.
Which is surprising for Sonic. Can I just say that?
No, you're wrong. Sonic has soul. He's so cool. He eats. It is
surprising for a Sonic game to feel earnest in its attempt to wow me. And I feel like this is an earnest attempt to wow me. And I feel like it's because they've departed from the Sonic formula. It is such a strong deviation that it's winning me over.
I have this idea that I want to see if I can organize at some point in December. Instead of a Goaty cast, I want to do a 7 OD cast where I do a cast talking about what's the best 7 out of 10 of the year.
We can do a tier list.
No, I want it to be like a
7 out of 10.
I want it to be like
a panel.
I want it like a panel. I want
you'll have like tournament brackets.
I want to get a call, maybe like I was gonna talk to Bridget about this as well. I feel like she'd be really into doing this. But yeah, like Soul Hackers 2, Sonic Frontier, like there's a bunch of good 7 out of 10s this year, and I wanna discuss them all and figure out what's the best 7 out of 10 of the year.
I think that'd be a fun idea. That'd be cool as fuck.
Yeah, I want to see. I gotta. I want to organize it.
Anyway, Sonic Frontiers, great game.
It's a great game.
Other things I've been playing: Persona 5 Royal came out on Steam not too long ago. Hey, that game fucking rocks.
Sure does.
Persona 5 Royal is easily one of the best JRPGs of the fucking last decade.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Did you believe me throughout? Like, because I mentioned it on occasion. I said, like, I was like, Persona, like, because you played Persona 5, right?
Yes.
And I told you, I said, it doesn't seem like it. They literally changed everything.
There are 2 games in that game.
Like,
they changed they added so much Showtime. Like, I just unlocked Showtime.
Dude, I remember this feeling of being like about somewhere between like 60 to 70 hours in, and then getting a new tutorial for a mechanic I had never seen before. And I was like, God damn.
Yo. So Persona 5 was already very good about layering mechanics, right? It was always very good about layering systems. Persona 5 Royal like triples the number of mechanics that are in that game, and then still layers them really fucking well.
Persona 5 Royal is because it wasn't made by the original team. There were probably some carryovers, but this was the Persona 5 Royal, I think, was one of the first games with the new Persona team. It's like P Studio or something.
Yeah, P Studio.
This was their first game. I'm pretty sure, again, but it was like, and you can really tell Persona 5 Royal was a game made by people who loved Persona 5, flaws and all, and were like, we think we can make this better.
And they nailed it. They nailed it.
It's not a bunch of people who didn't understand, who thought they knew what Persona 5 was. This was a bunch of people who said, we love this game. We know why it works. We're going to make it work better.
The quality of life features that they've introduced.
Sprinting
completely changes the
in
game.
Tokyo.
Sprinting.
Like, it's insane.
The fact that like you can do more nighttime actions now. And then they added, and then on top of they didn't just give you the ability to do nighttime actions. They gave you more nighttime actions to do. They gave you more things to do.
It's like you ordered like a meal from DoorDash, and then they wheeled in like a buffet.
Yeah, and like and they added new mechanics and new things. That's like, oh, if you go take, like, for instance, minor mechanical spoilers for Persona 5 Royal. If you go take your friends to this new darts place, your baton pass their baton pass strength goes up. So now they get extra bonuses on baton pass. Oh, hey, do you know what technical is? Here's what you can do with status ailments now. Because I don't remember that in the base Persona 5. They added technical shit. So now if there's no fucking status ailment weakness or elemental weakness, you can fuck around with status ailments. And they gave a purpose to status ailments, and different status ailments require different follow-up attacks. And you can manipulate the follow-up like that in the same way.
Guns?
They fixed guns. You can shoot guns. They refill your ammo every battle.
One of the craziest things, and that's really it though. Like, I never used guns in the original game because you'd fucking run out of ammo in the dungeon and you'd be like, okay.
Well, I don't know what to do now. You would save it for like a fight and then it'd be done. But then you wouldn't think about it.
Yeah.
And because you wouldn't think about it, you wouldn't use it.
And so it was a mechanic that most people didn't use.
Exactly.
But now it's like, because your bullets refill after every battle, it's like, okay, this is a mechanic. This is a consistent mechanic, and it wants you to use it. Like,
it is so much more cohesive. The gameplay loop is so much better. Combat flows so much nicer. There are so many different ways combat can go that in your mind, you think of a turn-based RPG and you're like, I'm going to find a strategy that I'm going to stick to for the rest of the game. You do not do that in this game. And I know I say that a lot for a lot of RPGs. I fucking mean it this time. You literally go, it's not about finding the thing that works. It's, what do I feel like doing?
There are so many solutions to the problem at any moment. Having said that, my only critique is that they gave you so many options that the game is kind of way easier. But,
sure.
But I don't care.
Turn the difficulty up.
Yeah, like, I don't really care.
Turn it up.
Like, and also, dude, when you get to it, I think the final boss of Royal is like the best final boss, I think, in the entire franchise.
I have a friend who beat it, and he's like, dude, it's really good.
Yeah.
And this is the friend of mine who's very critical of the Persona stuff and of the Square Enix stuff. And he was like, dude, it's fucking good. He's like, he said, and he really likes Persona 2. He's like, this is some eternal punishment shit.
The writing was a lot of like, oh, this is like P2 vibes. Yeah.
And like, just the construction of Royal in general, just like all these added things, this like sort of, it is incredible. I'm so impressed.
Yeah. I said it when it came out. I remember I said, Persona 5 Royal makes Persona 4 Golden look like a scam, and it wasn't. That's the thing. Persona 4 Golden was a pretty impressive like overhaul, but compared to Royal is like, it invalidates the original game.
Royal reminded me that Persona 5 is such a leap and bound above Persona 4. Like, base Persona 5 was so good, and then Royal goes, hey, I don't think you understood that. Yeah. I don't think you understood that sensation you had in your brain where you were like, oh, this is the brand new Persona. This is what it's going to be like. Let us remind you, and then double down on that. And I'm playing through this game and I'm like, I genuinely believe that you could leave me in Persona 5 world forever and I'd be happy.
Yep.
You could never make a Persona 6, or you could make a Persona 6 that's with the same group of people.
I will say, I think that if they don't give Persona 6 to this current team, they're gonna insane.
They're gonna bungle it.
Because because they've had several games to show their homework, and it's like, because it's the same team who's worked on Q, Persona 5 Royal, and Strikers. Like, writing
Strikers
wise,
was sick.
A lot of Strikers was still Koei Tecmo dev, but a lot of the ideas and the writing of Strikers was the same people.
I haven't even beaten Strikers, but like the first 2 arcs of Strikers are like written wise, I mean, fucking A.
Yeah.
The fact that they even added characters, there are so, okay, let me to kind of like put it all together. There are so many. There could literally be close to 50 to 60 additions to the game in Persona 5 Royal like little things, like new
Yep.
character splash arts, dialogue changes.
Your
here,
text
mechanics
message,
here.
like the text window, has
Text
a nice
window.
little effect on it. I think depending on the season,
like
the backgrounds,
these little fucking like there's like 50 to 60 of them.
They added crossword.
They added crosswords, which is great. I love doing the crosswords.
It's great.
I love my favorite part. But like they do all these things, and you would think this is the best example of greater than the sum of its parts, where they are adding so many little things, and you add that all together, and you're like, well, they're all these little things, but the experience, the whole experience, like it is so much more improved from the base game, which was already very good, and on its own, it is an entirely different game. It is an entirely different game that is built on top of a very good foundation. And it's like this is one of the best JRPGs of all time.
Yeah.
This is easily one of the best JRPGs of all time. And the social calendar, the calendar system in that game,
it's so good.
It's perfect in Royal because you don't feel like you're stressed for time.
You know what's also a great new change they added for social links is that
the phone calls.
Yep, the phone
calls.
calls. After a social link, a major social link event, you will walk back and get a phone call from that person to get you an extra 1 to 2 points for your social link,
which circumvents having to spend time with them. Extra time with them, which is really good, and it sort of cuts down on a lot of those like dead, what I call like dead social link visits where nothing actually happens and you're just going there for the points. And it's fucking great.
I feel
there
like
there are too many improvements to this game to talk about them all.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
No,
like I just want to make that clear. Like we could literally be here and list them all and we would run out of time.
Playing Royal again also makes me realize that a lot of the people who shit on Persona 5 don't actually know what happened in that game and either made shit up or didn't pay attention.
Dude, replaying that game, I'm realizing that this game has a much more complicated issue with its like writing. And this is really good setup that's marred by these little things that we're assuming were the fault of a person who no longer works on the Persona games, the creative lead who no longer works on the Persona games. I forget his name. But that game is about the mistreatment of women.
That
game is straight up about that's a feminist game.
Power dynamics. And granted, we're not saying that Persona 5 is free from criticism and it's like the most feminist game ever.
No, the entire Takamaki issue exists.
I actually
Hashino,
don't.
Yeah.
I'm not as harsh on where they took on as a lot of people are.
I understand what they were going for. I just think they did it in a not as good way as they could have. Yeah. Or I feel like if the game was about adults, that problem wouldn't be as problematic.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
I just like I'm gonna sit through and do my like third playthrough soon.
I'm new game plussing it.
I typically struggle to replay games like this simply because it's like I have my experience and then I'm like, all right, I'm good.
I want to do my victory lap.
For next year, I'm saving my because I played a bit on Switch and I reviewed the port and the Switch port's very good, but I want to get footage on my PC. And I kind of just like, I want to talk about the game's atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like, I think because everyone's like, oh, the game's so stylish, but like,
it's gloomy.
It's so like the rainy days of Persona 5 are like that's
so good.
That's the thing about Persona 5 is that it's the way they built the world. It's like, I want to hang out in this world. And
the other thing that I think is really important is that it's stylish against a world that is very condescending to the people being stylish.
Yes.
The stylish elements of Persona are an active protest of the condition of the world they live in.
I feel like a lot of Persona 5 criticism comes from a place of horrendously bad faith. And I genuinely think that if Persona 5 did not blow up, you'd have fuckers being like, remember that PS3 game that like that PS3 game, Persona 5, that was like the coolest game ever made. That's my favorite game. Like the same people who are now being like, Persona 5 garbage and ruin the franchise. It's
like we said, it's got some issues in terms of like its theming. It's not consistent.
You should play.
It's not consistent.
You should finish Royal.
I'm gonna finish Royal, and I'm glad that Royal improves it by a large amount. But it does have some issues. That being said, like replaying some of the segments that I did have a problem with in Persona, like base Persona 5, like the Yusuke stuff with I'm actually way cooler on that. I'm like, I remembered this way worse. Like in terms of like what occurs in that scene, in those scenes. This is tame as hell.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not what I remembered it to be. Maybe they changed it, but this was not even close to what I remembered it to be.
I think that's pretty close to what it was before.
Yeah, so like I'm replaying this game and I'm like, I think we kind of like, there's definitely a group out there that played this game and saw these things and might have blown it out of proportion just a little bit. I definitely think there's some problematic elements in there.
Yeah.
But like, I think, you know what? I think the game's pretty good about its messaging so far.
One of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah. What JRPG this gen is all Persona games aren't consistent. It's true.
Makes them a bit scrappy.
You know what? Progressive games that try to be progressive from Japan are not consistent.
Unless you're Caligula 2.
Unless you're Caligula 2, apparently.
Caligula 2 says trans rights.
Yeah. But yeah, Persona 5 Royal, great game. Can't wait to. I'm probably gonna play some more tonight if there's time.
Did you know Shido was based off of an actual conservative politician?
Yeah. They're all based off real people. Kamoshida's based off a real guy.
Oh, I know, but like Shido is
yeah,
super
So is Kaneshiro, so is Madarame. They're all based off real people, which is what makes that opening where
they're like, this isn't based
this
on
all
real...
based off of fictional people, any similarities to real people. That's such horseshit. This is all based off of fake people. Here's this Olympic medalist who's touching kids.
So that game is so fucking good. I'm waiting for my schedule to clear up just a little bit before I dive back in. I think there's probably gonna be a slow period around February to March, so maybe I'll do it then.
Yeah. Other than that, I've been playing Majora's Mask on stream. First time playing Majora's Mask in seriousness.
Which version?
The 3DS version.
That's a good version.
It's a good version. It has some problems.
Hey. Majora's Mask 3D pretty good when you don't got a bitch in your ear telling you it's mid.
Sure, yeah.
That's my favorite version to play.
I like it a lot. I don't really have a problem with the N64 version.
No, I don't either.
I did find some issues with the Zora swimming, and somebody brought up in the 64 version the Zora swimming is better.
Of course, that's the one thing they always say. They're like,
Olivian is gonna come at you for that.
I don't care.
I know.
Well, that's the thing. No, but here's the
No. I actually I do think the 3DS version is a good version. I've been enjoying it a lot.
But what I'm trying to get at more, and this isn't calling Olivia out or anyone else out. It's just no. Wow, some dipshit made a video that sucked and was dumb, and that became the discourse of everyone's
did that actually happen?
Yes.
Oh.
And it's and then I've heard these points, whereas I played this game on launch and went, that was good.
I think I returned my copy. I think I keep looking for my copy and I can't find my copy.
I need to
find it.
I genuinely think Majora 3D is the fact
it's super convenient. There's just so many convenient things about it.
And
I've been having a fun time.
Are you you're emulating it, right?
Yes, I have to because I'm streaming it.
Fair enough. I played the Ocarina 3DS version on my capture card and just blew it up on my TV, and I was blown away. Something about those two games, the way they handle the graphics, they blow up very nice.
Yes.
They upscale.
That game was not meant to be on the 3DS.
But they did it so gracefully. It's crazy.
They need to bring that to
It
Switch.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't
make sense why it's not on the Switch.
They don't need to be on 3DS.
It doesn't.
Like
literally the only thing on the bottom screen are menus.
And
just
you could
put them up top.
Yep. I don't get it.
I don't understand. Just bring back the in both Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time Nintendo 64, you hit start and you have your map and your masks and your items all on one menu. Like, it's fine. You could just do that again.
Also, I love the way
code. I know
the
they do.
3DS version looks. Like
it looks very pretty. It's
like,
very great. Link is jacked.
I know people are like, oh, but the original game looks better because it's bleaked, and it's like you're right in a way, but I think that the way Majora 3D uses color is so stark and like sharp that it's like the darkness works well. It's not like Wind Waker HD, which fucked the colors beyond recognition. Like,
I also just don't think. Call me what you will. I don't think Majora's Mask is that dark of a game.
It's pretty dark. I don't know. Those side quests are pretty fucked up.
The side are they?
Yeah.
I just finished giving a man a rock steak.
That's pretty good though.
In my game. Yeah, and like I united a seahorse with. See, I think people misinterpret Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is about joy in the midst of despair.
Oh, of course, but there are definitely I believe that's about as dark as Zelda has ever gone.
Sure.
And the reason I think this is, and Jacob Geller had a really good video on this saying that every Zelda is the darkest Zelda, and I agree with everything there, but Majora taps into like human emotion
very well.
In a way none of the other games have done.
There's a very personal aspect to Majora's Mask,
like,
it seems.
The fact that all of Majora's like really dark, fucked up shit, like its humanist, the most human shit, is optional and hidden off to the side, makes it even more human. Like the fact that if you go to the postman on the last day, you can see him literally like in his room cowering, like crying and like shaking and scared.
Yeah, you can see the same thing with the Swords Master.
Oh yeah, it's most people, but it's like that those little details.
Yeah.
It's so like, and the fact that like Aonuma or whoever fucking hates the game is so.
I feel so bad. He thinks he regrets making it.
Which
I feel like that's I'm going to say it. I feel like that's internal people telling him that game sucked. Or maybe the process of making that game sucked.
That was probably it. It was that game really reflects the state of the developers, I feel.
It's probably more likely that he wished he had more time on it. But I mean, that game is so like Majora's Mask is so like it's such a, what do you call it? Epiphany.
Majora's Mask is like nothing.
It's an epiphany.
Well,
it just comes out of nowhere. It's got all these like ideas that you've never seen before in a Zelda game. Like it's got the masks. Like suddenly there's like this play with the masks.
Like
there's
Zelda,
like this concept of like loss and grief and you know the Skull Kid being dejected, and like you go to the different places and you're laying people to rest.
And a series that always tried to be different. Majora's Mask was out there.
Yeah.
And then they've never gone back out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a reaction to it. As a reaction to it, they kind of dialed it back.
Like, and especially
they had like that special thing with Wind Waker. You know what it was?
Ocarina?
No, Majora's Mask happened, and that was cool and different. And then they tried to go more different with Wind Waker, and people got really pissed off because of the cartoon aesthetics.
Yeah.
Then they doubled back. They went backwards with Twilight Princess, and people were like, "Oh shit, Twilight Princess!" And they've never deviated since then. They tried with Skyward Sword a little bit, but again, people didn't like Skyward Sword for more valid reasons.
Yeah.
But still,
like
it seems like every time they deviate, they get a problem. Except until they hit Breath of the Wild, and now that's That's their
because
thing.
People will say that Breath of the Wild is nothing like any other Zelda game, but Breath of the Wild is very much like like Breath of the Wild has the spirit of Zelda throughout that entire thing, and people act like it's not Zelda, it's just this Skyrim open world. It's like, no, Breath of the Wild
It's
is
Zelda.
It's like Zelda to its core. It's just Zelda where it's like we don't need to check all these boxes to be Zelda.
It's distilling what Zelda is and then doing something different with that.
Exactly. And that's why Breath of the Wild rules. But like
it's all right.
Fuck you. Majora's Mask is like this, so like following up one of the like this classic, this game that revolutionized action adventure RPGs forever. Like I'm at, like following Ocarina of Time up in 1 year with Majora's Mask is like such a move. It
puts Ocarina of Time to shame.
I agree. I love Ocarina of Time. It's a classic for a reason.
It's in my top 5.
Majora's Mask is like, they were cooking something. And that's the crazy thing, is that despite being like a year to make a game like this, you don't really see it. Like,
you do, but you don't see it in terms of things feel incomplete. It's very good project management.
It is.
The dungeons are a nice length and they feel complete.
Like
the mask missions are very concise. Pieces of heart getting are very concise. Like the little mini games are short and sweet. It feels very much like a game that knew exactly how big it could be.
What I'm saying is like, if you played Majora's Mask in a void, and then we're told this game was rushed. Yeah, this game was rushed. They rushed this game. You'd be like, huh?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
Like, it doesn't feel like it scope wise. Yeah, maybe, but like,
no,
it is
that's what I mean.
Content complete game. Like, it is so polished, and it iterates on the original, like Ocarina of Time, so well. It's got a better story. It's got better character. Like, it's just an improvement.
That's exactly what I mean. Where it's like you can tell if you look at like the length, like the scope of it, but you can't tell that it was like it's not that you can tell, sorry. It's that you can't tell because it is all appropriately scaled for what the time they had was.
Yeah.
And probably not even, like probably even then they were crunching hard as fuck. But you can, like, it knows how big it can be. Like, they knew how big they could make it. So it's very simple, and it's very like, here's a circle. Here's every place you got to go to in that circle. But they built a story around that concept where it's like, well, we're just going to have a circle on the map. Okay, what's the story about that? Well, they come from the 4 corners of the world to save it. And it's like, okay, great, easy. You know, and then there's like these like plots that are a little more inspired. Like, it's not just save the world necessarily. It's like there's this ominous thing in the sky. There's this constant reminder of it. There's so many things in Majora's Mask that they've never attempted before.
Yeah.
And there's such a nice, it's so different from anything else that I've seen in any video game. And I think that's incredible. And I don't think people talk about that people don't talk about the fact that like stuff in Majora's Mask has never been replicated by other games. Like, when have you ever seen a game be like, oh, we were inspired by Majora's Mask and we're trying a thing that was in Majora's Mask? I don't think I've ever seen a fucking game that's tried that.
I've seen the game Majora's Mask likely got some ideas from, and that's Moon. But
sure,
yeah, you're right. Like, but like, everyone rips off Ocarina. Nobody touches Majora.
Nobody touches Majora's Mask, and I'm like, you know, I really want to play the game. I really want to play the game, or a mod. If somebody can mod this, please do. Where every time you complete a heart piece or get a mask, it records a ghost. And when you travel back to the first day, you see a little transparent link. Go and do the route that you took.
Oh, that's cool.
To get that thing, so that by the end of the game,
you have a bunch of
them, and then they all converge at the tower.
That's smart. I like that.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Like do a game where it has similar Majora's Mask like things where you have to, where it's about the cycle, right? It's about repeating the cycles. And then have it record, or even pre-record it. Fuck it. If it's not 1-to-1, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Right. But then have it essentially be like, no, actually, you're reliving this but at the end of the game, all of those things come true. All of those things happen, and it's just copies of you doing those things. Like, I would love that. Just having a great time with Majora's Mask. We're probably going to beat it this week.
Hell yeah. That game rules
stream.
so fucking hard. I love that game.
Big fan. But yeah.
Playing anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it.
We played Jak 2 on call together.
We did play Jak 2 together.
I don't know if I actually want to get into that because I'm working on a video on that. That is one of the games of all time.
That game fucking sucks.
GC didn't actually play it.
But I could tell it sucked. I could tell it fucking sucked. But Cullen loves bad mid.
I don't love Jak 2. I'm frustrated that it was so frequently promising to be a great game. And then
it let you down at every point.
Yeah.
That's a toxic relationship.
It is. I have a toxic relationship with Jak 2. I'm writing that one down.
That should be the title of the video.
My toxic relationship with Jak 2.
Yes.
And people are like, you're misappropriating the word toxic.
Oh, whatever. Fucking grow up.
But
get over it.
I'd like to bust into the first story that I actually just added. We don't need to talk about this long. Soul Hackers 2 patched in a run button just
Thank
now.
God.
That game is now an 8 out of 10.
This game. Oh, it added a speed up battle mode too.
Yep.
This game is now an 8 out of 10. I played a little bit of Soul Hackers 2 actually while we were gone.
Which means it does not qualify in the SOTYs.
No. It qualifies. We should have a nomination category for SOTYs that made it out.
That's good. But the SOTY award. Tune into the SOTY awards this December.
7s of the year.
But yeah, I just wanted to add that because I thought it was really funny that they just added a run button.
Incredible.
But, we talked a lot about just like our weeks, which are always fun to do on the podcast.
It was honestly relevant.
Yeah.
It was all stuff that was like in the news or game related that was like recent. Harvestella, Frontiers, Royal. Majora's Mask being the exception.
Most of the game news is just like not really. It's just depressing.
It's all a bummer. Listen, folks. Everything's listen, folks. The news has been a bummer.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got a I put the Bayonetta 3 stuff on the docket, but it's been long enough now that
everybody
it's kind
knows.
of old news and everybody knows, and we're all in agreement.
I
do
played
it like
Bayonetta
that.
3.
Oh yeah.
It's okay.
How do you feel? It's okay. If you don't know the ending to Bayonetta 3, don't look it up unless you're not going to play it, but you're not going to like the ending to Bayonetta 3. And unfortunately, that's in part due to...
They want to be Devil May Cry 5 so bad, it makes them look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it... And Bayonetta has always had some like, oh, we're like Devil May Cry. Bayonetta 3 is so much Devil May Cry 5. It's like embarrassing. Their Nero sucks. I'm sorry. Viola sucks. I hate Quirky. I hate Quirky so much. Also,
that's only because you're quirky.
I hate what I am. I was enjoying that game despite it running like garbage on Switch.
It runs bad, huh?
It runs as good as it could, which is still kind of embarrassing. Like the Switch is we've talked about it so many podcast episodes. Fuck, what are you doing, Nintendo? That's it. That's all I'm going to say. But like so many of these games are coming out really ambitious and cool.
We need that special dock.
Like Bayonetta 3's combat as Bayonetta is so fucking good. When you're playing as Bayonetta, I was having a blast. I was like, this is what I wanted. Like game design wise, gameplay wise, Bayonetta 3 rules. I fucking love it. It's great. The story's whatever. Viola sucks. I hate playing as her. I don't like her. And that's better get used to her if they make a 4, because that's who we're getting. But there with all the Helena Taylor stuff, It seems like we have learned nothing from the Helena Taylor discourse, where what people took away from that was that corporations are awesome and that they're always right.
Yeah.
Because Mick Gordon, the composer for Doom and Doom Eternal, came out with a lot of receipts and issues with id and Bethesda. And now Bethesda tweeted out this fucking garbage reply.
A non-response.
A non-response where they're
That's
like,
just like, he's a liar.
He made some like they basically said like he's a liar but didn't say he was wrong. He might have said some facts.
And it's statements with
evidence. And it's like, it's the most fucking, like, first of all, fuck you, Bethesda. You're garbage. Your core, everything you make is bad now. I know no one's not gonna, you're gonna buy Starfield.
Yeah.
Like, none of this is gonna, I know.
The dev studio is different from the publishing company
I know.
such and such.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I don't want them to get my money.
Okay.
But it's even more than just making a statement.
$230 on Soul Hackers 2, huh?
They make good games.
That's fair enough.
And Atlas isn't fucking Atlas isn't in the news for fucking like raiding breast milk fridges.
Okay, but that's not Bethesda, that's Blizzard.
But Bethesda has like their own shit.
Blizzard's Bethesda Battlestar Galactica. What was the point of what you were saying?
I don't know.
Basically, the company came out with a statement, and now people are probably going to look at Mick Gordon like, oh, what a liar.
Yeah.
What a liar. Folks, listen. It is in the interest of a corporation when someone blows the whistle for a corporation to go, that's not true. That didn't happen. Nuh-uh. Here's a source that we leaked out to the sources that we know are that are working with journalists.
I'm just like,
man. Non-responsive by time for the lawyers, correct?
Probably.
Basically, the moral of both of these stories between Bayonetta 3 and Mick Gordon's situation is
sometimes people can lie.
People lie a lot.
I think a good way to tell if someone lies is a judge of their past actions and character. When Helena Taylor initially came out, a lot of the people skeptical of her were not saying that voice actors should not get paid. They were like, hey guys, this person has a weird track record. This is kind of suspicious. And then people went like, oh, you're saying that just because they have these beliefs doesn't mean they should get paid? It's like, no one said that. But people are like, something's weird.
Something doesn't add up.
You can look at her and it's like, oh, why would you look through her tweet? It's like because
you want to vet somebody.
People probably remembered her tweets.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey guys, maybe.
However, let's make this clear. When someone comes out with a story that they've been mistreated, you believe them.
You believe them.
When more information comes out, you go, oh, okay. You don't do that when the corporation comes out with that thing. You wait for more stuff to happen. But until that happens, it is perfectly okay to believe them.
Yeah.
When the situation, even if they're a bad person, if they are making a good point, in this situation, it is still okay to be on their side. You do not have to denounce someone completely when they are talking about something that is very true.
Helena Taylor's initial statement was something people were able to get behind, where it was like, hey, voice actors aren't paid enough.
Broken clocks. They're right twice a day.
And then people realized, oh, she asked for $100,000 for a game with like 10 cutscenes. Yeah, and she lied. No, but there's like, and then she lied about it, like really badly. This makes everyone look really like. This is, and
here's how you assassinate your own career, and then also make the argument for voice actors to get paid better, just this is how you move the conversation back 20,000 steps.
Well, and you want to know what? This isn't even like assassinating her own career, because I think she's mainly like a theater actor.
Sure,
so this was basically a drive-by. Like, this was like this doesn't affect me. And it's like, it sucks.
And it's like, and it just completely derails the conversation. And it's like, and then people want to talk about, oh, you know, this is why you guys got to like not get behind everybody that says this. Oh, well, this is why you have to like do this. And it's like none of this is actually helpful to the conversation that should be being had. And that is the money they offered her good enough for the role based on what the game is, how much it's probably going to sell, and how important her performance is to that game.
And apparently Bayonetta 3 was a full union production.
Yeah.
Which means that people probably got paid more than typical games.
Yeah.
Like,
which is sad, because I do think that they should probably get paid more than that.
Oh, of course. But this was
because Bayonetta 3 is gonna make.
But this one though was like they played it good. They supposedly, from what I'm hearing,
better than the standards, which is still not good enough, but better than the standard.
This was a good gig for people involved. Like,
yeah.
So to lie, but that's getting into that. But then like this comes out and it's like it's like you took the wrong message from this. And now you're like, oh, so this is why we believe the corporation. It's like, don't bootlick.
This is one of those situations where we can actually say virtue signaling is an actual thing that's occurring here, where it's people who waited to say anything, right? Then the corporation came out with a statement and they were like, this is why I wait for, you know, all of the information to come out before I make any public statements. First of all, nobody gives a fuck about your public statement.
No. We make public statements all the time. We know people give
nobody
a fuck.
gives a shit. Nobody fucking gives a shit that you waited before you said anything. What they did notice is that you didn't say anything. And what it says is that you wait because you don't want to change your mind because you're afraid of admitting you're wrong about something. Guess what? I was wrong about the situation at the start. That's why I changed my mind. And that's why when new information came out, I adjusted my take on it.
I didn't say anything because I typically have the same thing to say that most people say. So
also, you usually don't say much of anything ever at all until we get on the podcast. So.
Well, no, just in general, like first, like a lot of like
you're busy.
Well, I'm busy, but like I typically like, because so many people are saying the same thing, and it's like I don't want to be like a broken record, because I agree with pretty much like my opinion developed as it went on. Like you should be willing to readjust your thoughts based off of new information. That should be a basic human skill. A lot of people don't realize that. But yeah, fucking fuck you, Bethesda. The end. Do you have anything else?
Fuck you, Bethesda. Platinum, you're on thin ice, but not for the reasons that Bethesda is.
Platinum, you're on thin ice because you almost made a good game and then you put Viola in it.
And also, you made the ending to Bayonetta 3.
I need to actually. I know what happens. I need to actually get there.
Apparently, it's really, really bad.
It sounds very bad.
My friend's a diehard Bayonetta fan, and she was like, dude, this game rocks so hard. Oh my god, this ending sucks shit. Yeah. Other than that, speaking of companies exploding into flames, let's talk about Twitter.
I heard it's run by some bald bitch.
Yeah, I hear it's run by some bald guy. Hey, Twitter's on fire. So if you want to follow me on anything besides Twitter, I'm on Mastodon. I'm on Tumblr. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch as GC Vazquez. On Mastodon, I'm on Mastodon Social, so you can find me at that handle.
I'm not on Mastodon.
Also GC Vazquez.
Don't follow me.
Don't follow Cullen. You'll find Cullen. If you follow me, Cullen will be there.
I'm not going on Mastodon. I'm riding this sinking ship. until it's in like it's gone deep below the waves, and then I'm just hopping back on my Tumblr jet boat and I'm riding.
So you
out
can
of there.
find Cullen on Tumblr.
Oh, you're not gonna find me on Tumblr. Nope.
So once Twitter goes down, no more social media for you in terms of like.
I'll wait for the next one.
Internet?
I'll wait for the next Twitter.
Oh, Blue Sky.
I'll wait for the actual next Twitter.
Yeah, Blue Sky.
If
it's being made by ex-Twitter devs, by the guy that started Twitter. He's making another social media app.
Maybe I'll check it out if it gets popular. It's got to have the Twitter energy.
It's probably where it's gonna be.
Because here's the thing. I go on Tumblr to not talk to fucking anybody. Like, I don't want people, like, I don't, when I would be on Tumblr, I don't make Tumblr posts. Tumblr is where all of, like, okay, so what people will often say is that it's like, Tumblr was this garbage website, and all these people were really lame and terrible, and all this, but then it got really bad, so then everybody left. It's like, no, what happened was that all of the fucking dipshits left Tumblr when the boobs got banned, and then they made Twitter worse. So they just took that energy and then brought it to Twitter. The most insufferable people left Tumblr, and then Tumblr became really fucking funny. You ever go on Tumblr? Those the fuckers on Tumblr are way funnier than any of the people on Twitter. Tumblr is pretty good. Like,
microblogging is a different thing, man. Tumblr is not microblogging. Tumblr is actual blogging. Like, Twitter is microblogging.
Tumblr became so much better after the Exodus. So genuinely, don't go back to Tumblr. It's better without you.
Did you see the post that someone made where it was like they were reposting like cringy Tumblr stuff to get people to leave again? And somebody was like, this is like firing shots to keep the rent down.
It's true. Like, Tumblr, I am with you. I've been with you since I was a teenager.
I've been with Tumblr since they had your Tumbology score.
Keep up the good work, Tumblr.
Since they scored blogs. Remember when they used to score blogs?
I don't actually think I was that far. I think you're just old.
Oh man, I was around where it was like literally like you had a score on your blog and it would go up when you had more impressions and when you would make more frequent posts, and that's what made me stick to Tumblr.
Like,
and then they got rid of that because they were like, that's weird. We shouldn't do that.
It's for the best because Tumblr works. Right. Because Twitter is everybody is trying to get numbers.
Everyone's competing.
Everyone's competing, and you don't get that from Tumblr.
No.
Tumblr is like you're just chilling.
And you can actually browse tags well in Tumblr.
Like, I remember back when I used to go on Tumblr all the time. I go on Tumblr less, but every time I come back to Tumblr, like on my phone,
I have a good time.
I have a great time on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Where before I'd be like, God, Tumblr's a fucking nightmare. And then it stopped being a nightmare. And I was like, why is that? And every time I go on Twitter, it's fucking miserable.
Well, that's what Twitter specializes in.
Yeah.
Twitter specializes in negative...
Yep.
Like negative contact, negative conversations, negative connections.
I recently just deleted the app off my phone.
Yeah, like misanthropy is Twitter's bread and butter. If you complain about something, you get more clicks and more impressions, and Twitter throws more of that thing at you as opposed to when you are positively talking about something. For some reason, the Twitter algorithm favors negative interactions.
I will say though, I really like hearing, because I took a break off Twitter. It was too much. And I took a break at a pretty convenient time because as soon as I left, everything got caught on fire. Like, everything went to shit. And I'm tweeting a bit more occasionally in the last like day or so. I mainly just came back just so I could promote my new video that pretty much bombed. Of course. But I expected it to bomb, not gonna lie. So I was like, I'll dick around a little bit. I'll harass my friends. I like being mean to my friends. Because they know, hopefully, that I care about them.
Well, there
and
you go.
It only makes me want to hurt them more.
So yeah, Twitter Okay, well, calm down there.
Did you
All right.
know that Zerker and Wayne can't handle spicy food?
What a bunch of bitches.
I know. Just tweeting about how Avatar is good.
What?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Why would you like Avatar?
It's just Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Like, he literally stole the entire story off of Pocahontas.
You want to get on me for liking bad mid? I don't like bland shit. That's my thing.
Avatar isn't even mid. It's just a ripoff with like good. It's just a CGI like masturbatory dream, and it just rips off everything else.
Yeah. They're like, oh, but it's really pretty. It's like, yeah, I know it's pretty.
It's literally partly about appropriating.
I told
They literally go into the bodies of another culture, and like try to. It's like a weird metaphorical blackface.
I gave them,
or I guess red face in this case.
I gave them shit about it just because I thought it was funny. But no, I was like, Zerker was like, oh, I'm so excited for the new Avatar movie, and I was like, oh, guy who loves Avatar, this food waitress is too spicy. What's in this?
My French fries are too spicy.
What, pepper? I don't know what that is. Send it back. And then Wayne chimed in and was like, don't worry, Zerker, I like Avatar too. And then Zerker was like, see, I knew you were right. It's like, Cullen, that's a Cullen L. And it's like, motherfucker, I've gone to eat with Wayne. I know that bitch can't handle spice.
I'll take in your situation, I'll be like, this is an L I'm willing to take.
I'm not taking an L. I love spicy food.
Yeah, turn that L into a fucking W, because let me tell you, Avatar fucking sucks. And anybody who likes Avatar likes bland food.
Ooh, gotcha, Zerker.
That's a ham sandwich crowd. That's what that is.
Oh, Wayne likes cheese and ham. No, yeah, no ham. Love you both.
Yeah, you guys are great.
Wayne has a new Batman video. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the Game Awards briefly?
Yeah. Stray should win not every award, but Stray should win some awards at the Game Awards. Have you seen the nominees for the Game Awards?
They're okay.
They're all right. Except for one.
Here's the thing. Every year, we go through the same thing. Where it is people taking way too much stock in the award show.
Right.
Guys, that is a series of trailers with filler.
Now, I totally understand you.
But
there is one specific category.
Okay.
That you should look at.
All right.
This goes beyond like, oh, this is whatever. This actually makes no sense.
Okay. What is it? Did you send it to me?
Yeah. Best fighting game.
Oh no, that's really funny. That's really fucking funny.
Okay.
So
why is Sifu in the fighting game category?
Because no fighting games came out this year.
Because the fighting games came out this year. There's a lot of ones that could go in there.
Most of them are re-releases.
Whatever.
Like
whatever.
No, it's like they were probably like, we can't put Persona. We can't like, because no, here's the thing. Fighting games are going to be really good next year. And what bit of fighting games people are still really excited for is Strive, which was like
wasn't there? No, there was a fighting game that came out this year that was like really. Oh, they could have put the pony game in because Them's Fighting Herds came out officially this year, and they've done that before.
I think it's really actually. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, why is JoJo here?
That's a fighting game.
No, but it's a re-release.
Yeah, exactly. That's the. See, the more you think about it, the more it's like, wait a minute, why is Sifu in here if JoJo is in here?
Because if JoJo's in here, and by the way, that re-release fucking sucks. Like, garbage. Like, granted, it's in garbage tier, it doesn't have rollback. Also, why are you charging DLC for brand new characters on a fucking re-release?
That's lame.
That's like, that just seems gross to me.
That should have been packaged with the re-release. That should have been like, oh, we're adding characters. And that should have been like the big pool to sell.
You putting Like
anime fighting games are like that.
Like if it's like cosmetic stuff, I'd be like, sure. It sucks, but sure. But full ass characters, that's bad.
They're like that. They're like that. Anime fighters are just like that. Like especially if it's licensed. Any licensed anime shit is always going to try to sell you crap. Except for surprisingly the Kakarot game, which
that game
sells
rules.
you DLC. Huh?
That game rules.
Yeah, the Kakarot.
Kakarot's so fucking
it's
good.
It's getting a free fucking next gen update.
I need to. I played it on Switch,
that.
and I actually thought it ran really good on Switch. I need to get it on like an actual console.
If you get it on PC, wait for the next gen update that it's gonna get to make the game look better.
I might.
It's gonna get a touch up. It's gonna be very nice.
I'm really sad that they missed out on my favorite fighting game of the year, which is Phantom Breaker Omnia.
Yeah. A lot of people are also complaining that God of War Ragnarok is on there, but like something you should probably understand is that the committee that nominates these is like 200 people from the industry, and they've probably either played an early build or were given early access to that game.
That game was made to be on there.
Yeah, also that. So like it's kind of like a lot of people have been complaining about stuff like that, but really, guys, like Cullen said, it means nothing.
Here's the thing.
It's an ad.
It is an ad. It is a
series of ads.
Big ad.
The fact that God of War Ragnarok is on that list is an ad.
It's
so that you go, God of War Ragnarok is on that list, but it only came out like yesterday. Maybe I should play it.
Yep. So like, here's the thing. Every year I get out of the Game Awards and I have this reaction where like I come out and like I go back on Twitter or whatever and I see everyone mad and I was like, wait. I thought we were kidding. I thought we were all like pretending to be really invested because we're normal human beings.
Well, okay. It's fun. Okay, hang on.
No,
it's fun to be mad at.
Oh yeah.
What wins? It's fun to do that.
Yes. But then like when I watch the Game Awards,
you let it go after like the next couple of days though. There are some people who are still like talking about like 2 years ago's like Game Awards where it's like, I can't believe Sekiro won Game of the Year in 2019. And it's like, dude, it's been 3 years.
Oh no, I'm talking about like as soon as it's over, I'm like,
yeah.
Because here's the thing. The Game Awards.
Game. It's a sports game. You get mad at the sports game when the sport game happened, and then you're like, well, okay, on to the next one.
Well, because I have the same thing as E3, where it's like they're very fun to get with a group, and then set your reactions to like 11. It's like you're playing, like you're acting almost.
Yeah.
It's
just fun.
It's fun.
And it's fun to make fun of the award show. It's fun to be mad that something won and be like, really? That fucking thing won?
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck? Oh, it shouldn't have won. But like,
out of all of these, are you kidding me?
Yeah, but it's like, it's just so fun. It's like the energy you have. It's just, I look forward to it every year because it's a lot of fun.
It's fun in the moment. It's fun in the moment. It's again, it's like a sports game. It's fun to cheer and boo during the event, and then once the event is over, if you're still walking around like looking to fight somebody over it, it's like bro.
But and that's what I'm saying. It's like I always see people on Twitter get like genuinely mad still, like and you can tell.
Well, because they want their game to win, because if their game doesn't win, then
their personality takes an L. Yeah, but it's like, but that's what's always so weird for me is that like it's gonna happen this year too, where everyone's be like, this thing what? It's like, what? Don't like straight up.
Come on, man.
Come on,
man.
Come on.
Let it go.
This is like what?
Let it go. It doesn't matter. They paid for that ad spot.
Yeah, like it.
If they didn't pay for that ad spot, they paid for it in a different way.
The only thing
if they didn't pay money, they paid for it in a different way.
The only thing I get disappointed with is if the trailers suck. Because then I feel like I wasted my time because I'm really there for the trailers.
I also think there is like there's a couple categories that I do care about because these are like more independent and identities that really should be recognized by the gaming community. Like content creator of the year is an important one. And I was talking about this on my stream. They put Nibelian on there, like, and it's so clearly a last minute thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a martyr vote because they're quitting.
I think they already quit.
You know, if you really want to,
I think they already quit.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
And I think, and if you ask me, it's like, if you really wanted to commemorate this person, you wouldn't make them a nominee. You would give them an award.
Or you would have
If you
kept them
actually gave a
on
shit.
there earlier. The only reason there was a really good post I saw sent to me. It was like, hey, we really need to do better about like suddenly giving a shit after all is said and done.
Yeah.
Because a lot of content creators end up giving up because they have to stretch themselves so thin because people just don't show up.
And also like, this goes into the reason Nibelian quit, right? Where he was like, people really didn't support him or them for any of the other things they tried to do. Like, they had a Patreon. I didn't even know they had a Patreon until they
did
mentioned
know
it.
they had a Patreon.
Yeah, and it was like, it's embarrassing where it's like Twitter was the only place they got engagement. Twitter was the only place whenever they talked about video games, but if they ever tried to do anything else, none of that would like pay off. None of the things that they did, they can never find support outside of what they were doing, and it's like, this is just a symptom of that problem. This whole like, oh yeah, let's put him as a nominee on the thing for content creator of the year. It's like, dude, literally his point is being proven. This proves the point.
It's like people only cared after he said he quit.
Yeah, people only cared after he was like, I'm not gonna do the thing that you like, the one thing that you see me as. I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah, it's like oh, and then everyone got like really mad. It's like, show up. But
it's not even like a nominee. I mean, sorry, it's not even like an actual recognition for what he did for his work. It's a nomination.
You also got to put those like printed out fucking Let's Play guys who somehow come into the simulation with 14 million subscribers and you've never heard of their ass.
But like my point is like, you could still have this category, not putting Nibelian in there, still give an award to somebody for that. But then as an aside, be like, hey.
Yeah, best Let's Player of the year.
No. You don't even need a category. You can just give, like, award shows do this. Like, if you actually gave a shit, you're running an award show, which is bullshit. But you claim to actually give a shit about the people in the industry. And I believe that. I believe Jeff Keighley gives a shit about people in the industry.
I believe Jeff Keighley thinks he gives a shit.
Sure. What you do in this case is not put him up as a nominee. All right, everybody, vote for him.
Like, remember when we watched the
it's you go, hey, I'd like to take a second aside from this award show to recognize someone who's done a lot of work for the game community and is no longer is unfortunately departing it for XYZ reasons. Yeah. And I wanted to at least recognize them for their work. And this award is not an award that we're going to be doing a category for. This is just an award for this person, like a lifetime achievement award or whatever. And it's like, we want to honor you.
Do you want my cynical response?
What?
A bunch of people.
Too late?
A bunch of people are going to watch just to see if he wins.
Of course. But that's what I mean.
Yep.
If you actually gave a shit, you wouldn't put it up to a competition.
Yeah.
If you gave a shit about this person's work, you wouldn't leave it up to the competition. You would just give them the award.
Remember when we watched the Keighley 3s and there were I remember there was like, we really stand with all these the women and all this stuff. Anyway, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 coming out. It's like fucking,
it was such a lame duck fucking thing to say. This Christoph in your chat makes a really good point. The nomination was like a compensation.
Yep.
It's like a consolation prize for all the work he's done. It's like, oh, I will just put you here, just so that Jeff Keighley can. To me, it feels like Jeff Keighley is like, well, I did my part.
Yeah.
By recognizing this person.
It'd be
so I'm not a part of the issue here.
It'd be really funny if he didn't win, because then it's like the gesture is like.
Then it's an empty gesture. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, I don't think he is going to win.
I think he's gonna win.
No, he's gonna lose to Ludwig.
Okay, you're probably right. I think he has a chance,
unless Ludwig does a thing that Ludwig probably this is in his character to do. Unless Ludwig's like, go vote for Nibelian instead, and he tells everyone that follows him to do that instead, which could happen because he is that kind of person.
But like, I think what's Like there's a decent chance that he wins. And it's like if something feels wrong about like setting someone up to win an award out of guilt.
Yeah.
Like
he's going to get that award and be like, great.
Yeah. No, there's no good ending to this. I think he's not coming back.
Again, you could have circumvented all of this by just giving him an award for something and being like, hey, we're really sorry that, you know, this didn't work out, but I don't want you to leave, you know, without being formally recognized. And it's true. We talk shit about the Game Awards, but the reason I brought up the content creator category is because the Game Awards really is the only place where people can be formally recognized for their contributions. Well, and that's for me the categories that actually matter.
Unless though they do that thing they've been doing recently,
which is
where they'll like come back from a commercial break and then it'll just be like, it'll just show
this is who won the award.
Yeah, anyway.
But I mean, like that's like the closest thing to a formal recognition that some people get, and it's like I appreciate that. Like I wish we had more of that in our community. Like I wish we did have an award show that was kind of like that for people who put time and effort, like industry people, not just content creators, like industry people. We don't have enough of that.
I hope they step up.
Yeah.
I really want them to step up this year, the same way I want them to step up every year. I'm watching this for the entertainment, and then I will leave it with no real critical thoughts besides, oh, I had fun, or that sucked.
Unless Jeff Keighley like goes full mask off and like says some horrendous shit on a hot mic.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I want someone to do it. I wanted to get crazy.
Like I want to hear as they're like doing the big panning shot away as they go to commercial break. Jeff Keighley's like, yeah, I put roofies in all the drinks, and everyone to go, huh?
He's like, you know, they never actually caught me for stealing all that breast milk. I blamed it on Activision Blizzard. It was me the whole time.
I blamed it on a random employee. They bought it.
I'm the CEO of Activision Blizzard. I did all the crimes. Teehee. We actually already did talk about Sifu being nominated for Best Fighter, and I thought it was very funny that, because at first I was like, oh, well, they wouldn't put something like Persona 4 in there because it was re-released, and then I looked at it for a second more, and I was like, wait, why is JoJo on there?
JoJo's on there.
Do you want to know why I'm not really putting too much stake in the Game Awards? It's that Elden Ring's going to sweep and win every single award.
I don't think so.
GC.
A lot of people didn't like Elden Ring.
GC it sold.
Hey, but a lot of people didn't like Elden
Ring. A lot of people loved Elden Ring.
No, a lot of people didn't like Elden Ring.
A lot of people loved Elden Ring.
No, like I'm telling you, like as someone who was following that shit closely, that shit had a way more divisive audience than you might think.
Elden Ring's gonna sweep. I'm not saying I want it to, because Xenoblade deserves all of the awards. But Elden Ring's gonna sweep.
I don't think so. Do a poll. I want to know what chat thinks. Do a poll. Do you think Elden Ring is going to sweep the Game Awards? Yes or no?
Be honest.
Be honest. Make sure they can only vote once.
I know. And please vote. We have a small audience right now, but...
Please vote. Please clap.
Please clap.
I'm not voting.
Oh, I am. I'm kidding.
Oh, you're voting?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Okay,
I'm not actually.
I'm not voting. All right.
No, and again, it's not the fact that Elden Ring is like a perfect game. I think that whether they intended it or not, that's the kind of game that like... That is the... Like it or not, that is the biggest game to release this year.
I don't think so.
Sales wise, yeah.
Here's the reason why I don't think it's gonna sweep. God of War Ragnarok is in almost every category with it.
I think it's like they are gonna be. Those are the two big ones, though. Those are the ones.
But that's why I'm saying that I don't think Elden Ring is gonna sweep because it came out in January.
And people have had a whole year, and also more people can play Elden Ring.
And a lot of people played Stray And a lot of people played Xenoblade 3.
Less though. Xenoblade 3 sold about 1.7 million copies. Stray probably sold around that. I don't know the Stray numbers.
I'm telling you, I don't think it's gonna sweep.
I think
Stray is in categories with Elden Ring.
I think Elden Ring is gonna beat Stray. That's the thing though. People are still talking about Elden Ring.
Where?
I see it all the time.
You have a very different feed than I do.
Isn't God of War divisive? God of War has been a bit divisive so far. People are generally like, it's good.
It's the same thing with Elden Ring, where there's been some dissent, but otherwise, yeah.
And Xenoblade 3 is, I think Xenoblade 3 might win an award or two.
You think Elden Ring is gonna win best role-playing game?
Yeah. More people played it. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I don't think people liked it as much as you think they did. Remember there was like a whole thing about its UI elements that turned out to be xenophobic?
Yeah.
But it was still like a thing. You
but
know, and
those
like,
kind of complaints, xenophobic.
Even I didn't like Elden Ring as much as I thought I would. I
fucking loved Elden Ring. It's the only Souls game I can really get into.
I liked it a lot, but like I got tired. I got fatigued.
Let's go through all the categories. There's 31. Let's go through as many as we give a shit about.
Okay.
Game of the year.
Game of the year is gonna be A Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, or Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
All right, I'm gonna.
I don't know why A Plague Tale is on there. I'm gonna be
Cullen's lock is that Horizon leaves with nothing.
Yeah,
that is, I think, the funniest thing that could happen.
I think that's gonna happen.
I want it to happen because it'd be really funny. Horizon needs to lose to Elden Ring because Horizon, like, it's the Horizon cycle where it comes out on the same day as this.
They are so, I don't understand why they do this.
It's like, I haven't played it. I'm sure it's fine. But the bit needs to continue.
I don't know why they keep doing that. I don't know why they keep literally. You know, the next one is also going to have that problem.
Of course. I need it to.
Like, at this point, it's part of their marketing. At this point, it's part of their marketing.
They're marketing to make games that no one gives a shit about?
Yeah.
Fucking Guerrilla Games, I think, summoning 2 million Horizon dick riders to buy the new Horizon game. No, keep selling. I want you to keep making games. I think that art is art and should exist. It, like, fucking, I don't care, but I think they should keep making them, but I think it's funny. Anyway, granted, I'm the biggest Xenoblade 3 head, you know, that anyone will know. Me. I think that game's, fuck you, who?
My ex-roommate is a bigger Xenoblade head than you are.
How?
She's played Xenoblade 1 like 5 times and Xenoblade 2 like 3 times.
Okay.
Xenoblade X.
But the fact that she's played Xenoblade 3 Xenoblade 2 like 3 times is actually a negative value that takes away from everything else. I continue to win. Anyway, Xenoblade 3 is one of the best games I've ever played and deserves to win everything. I won't be mad if it doesn't.
I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't. I mean,
I think it's gonna win at least a couple things. If it
should win one.
If it wins Game of the Year though, I'll be yelling. Deserved. It's not, but I want it to. Best game direction.
Elden Sweep is tied.
So it could.
The mystery continues. Also, I think when is the Game Awards? I think it's on my birthday again.
It's like the 8th, I think. I'll be coming right back from San Diego. And then I'll be like, all right, time to, so for those of you who care, I will probably be streaming the Game Awards. Last year I did not have a space to do it in, but I want to get my girlfriend.
That is the 8th.
To, I want to do like a fun little night thing. Get a bunch of people over at my apartment, and just watch them. But, yeah, I want to get my girlfriend to come visit for it and then be on stream. And At the very least, it'll be us watching. So it'll probably be a little cozy. We'll be as funny as we can be. My girlfriend's crazy funny. I'll just be making butt and poop jokes, but she's a genius. I love her. Best game, like, okay. I believe that Elden Ring and God of War are going to be like clashing the entire night.
Okay.
They're both games that are basically made for this.
Yeah, they're Oscar bait games.
God of War, I'm sure that game is great. And I know Oscar bait kind of hurts to hear. It's kind of what that.
Talk about this while I go to the bathroom.
I'm just gonna start blasting through categories then. Best game direction. I think God of War is gonna win that one. Here, wait, hold on. I'm gonna make a doc. I'm gonna make a doc right now. I'm going to make my predictions, and then I will see how right I am. Cullen's TGA predictions. And I'm not going to do them for the ones I don't give a shit about, like esports people. No, don't care. All right. Goaty. I'm gonna say Xenoblade 3, just so if I'm right, then I get to be the hopeful consumer. Best game direction. I'm gonna go God of War. Okay. Best narrative. I'm thinking Plague Tale could get it. I don't even know what immortality is. I think Plague Tale might get that one. I don't know anything about God of Wars. Like, I don't think Elden Ring's winning best narrative. I honestly don't know why it's on there. GC, what do you think will win best narrative?
Best narrative?
It is Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, and Immortality. I think it'll either be Plague Tale or Ragnarok.
I think it's gonna be one of those two. I think Plague Tale might actually win it for this one. Because it's kind of like a very strong narrative thing, yeah.
I'm currently making a doc about my predictions.
Okay.
If you would like to make your own doc.
I voted.
No, I voted too. I'm not saying what you voted for. I'm saying predict what you think will happen and see how right your predictions are.
Oh.
Not just what you want to win.
Okay.
Except for Goaty, which I gave to Xenoblade 3, so if I'm right, I'm super right. Best art direction. This is a fun way to wind the podcast down. Elden Ring, Ragnarok, Forbidden West, Scorn, and Stray.
Scorn or Stray are gonna win this.
I think I'm trying to decide which one I want to lock.
I voted for Stray because I think Stray will win.
I think Scorn's gonna get it.
I think Scorn is impressive, but I think Scorn is going to push people away because of its specific aesthetic.
Oh yeah. Best score and music. Let me make the next line.
I think Metal Hellsinger should be disqualified because it uses a bunch of licensed shit.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure. Like, it's using music from bands.
So, best score
composed
is
by them.
Plague Tale, Elden Ring, Ragnarok, Metal Hellsinger, and Xenoblade 3.
I could be wrong.
I think Xenoblade 3 could get this one.
Yeah.
Realistically, I think this has a chance.
I do, because people who haven't played Xenoblade 3 listen to Xenoblade 3's music.
Like, yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
I'm trying not to give Xenoblade 3 to everything in its category, but
this one is actually a category that it deserves to win.
I mean, it deserves to win Game of the Year, but
mostly because Xenoblade games traditionally have some banger soundtracks.
audio design is like,
This one's hard.
I think
I would give it a Gran Turismo, but I know it's not going to win.
I think they're going to give it a Call of Duty.
You think? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because it's one of the only categories Call of Duty is in?
Yeah, like everybody played it. And I'm sure that the gun sounds, like people be like, the gun sounds and the explosions.
Okay. All right.
So far, I don't think I've given
so.
Elden Ring anything, but Elden Ring does not strike me as a good sound design game.
This is what I'm telling you. It's not going to sweep.
It might, though. For this category, I don't think it fits. And narrative. I don't know why it's a narrative.
You also didn't vote for it for art design.
Well, this is not me voting. This is me predicting what the people will pick.
Yeah.
So
it's not going to sweep.
Best performance. Now.
I'll tell you who I voted for. I'll tell you who I think is going to win.
Who do you think is going to win?
Christopher Judge. Again.
Oh, is he Kratos?
Yeah.
I'm between him. I think Ashley Birch could win this.
You know what? You're right.
I'm going to say this will be Horizon's only win. Now, I think Christopher Judge deserves it. I think Ashley Birch is going to win it.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong about a lot of this. Don't take...
I don't think Ashley Birch is going to win it, but I think
Harry, you are right, Olivia.
I think she's the meme pick because everybody knows who she is.
Exactly. And
not to say she's a bad voice actress.
No,
she's very talented.
she's great.
I think her performance as Aloy is really good.
But people know her. Out of everyone here, she was the only one I was like, oh, I know her.
Wow, Christopher Judge, you knew. It took you a second, but you put it together.
No, I guessed.
That's a terrible picture for Christopher Judge.
It's
by the
not
way.
great. It's.
Why didn't they use one of his headshots? Have you noticed that everyone has a headshot
and he's just like,
he has a fucking Comic-Con fucking thing?
Okay.
That's annoying.
So now
Aloy always gets irritating because of how she always talks to herself, so I wonder if it's a detriment to the overall performance. Yes. I think so.
I think the people voting are going to be like, I know who that is. Yeah. Okay. Games for Impact. A Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, baby, Indie Gold, Endling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, I Was a Teenage Exo-Colonist. That sounds like and maybe the picture on it as well. I don't know anything about this game. I'm getting like Dramatical Murder vibes, like fucked up boys love VN.
No.
Maybe it's just the art. It looks like the twink from Dramatical Murder.
It's more of like a slice of life romance thing, I think.
Technically, so is Dramatical Murder.
Do
you even know what Dramatical Murder is?
Nope.
That's right. Some people in the audience went, no! And then you were like, I don't know what that is. This sounds dumb.
I'm impervious.
I'm pretty sure a snake gives a blowjob in that game.
Wow. Impressive.
Anyway, I want to say I voted for Citizen Sleeper. That game.
I want to say Citizen Sleeper because I think it's the one everyone recognizes here the most and has had the most conversation around it. But I have heard good things about I Was a Teenage Exo-Colonist.
I think Citizen Sleeper is gonna win. Because
Endling also had some stuff shown off at certain directs.
Best ongoing, Fortnite's gonna win.
This is for ongoing development of content.
I don't
think Fortnite's gonna get that.
It's the one people know. It's the most popular
Fortnite
one.
has been nominated for things before and lost. So
you know what? I think,
and a lot of people don't like Fortnite because it's the meme.
I think
to hate Fortnite.
I'm gonna give it a 14. I think 14 won last year.
14 solid. Destiny 2 is also solid.
I think it's either going to be.
I think No Man's Sky won last time.
I think it's either going to be 14 or Genshin.
I think it's gonna be either 14 or Destiny 2.
I'm gonna say 14.
Mm-hmm.
That's Cullen's lock. Best indie. I think Neon White is gonna win.
Really? Over Stray?
Neon White exploded. Neon
Really?
White got. Yeah.
And you think that's gonna win over Stray?
Yeah.
Okay.
Neon White brought something out of people.
Yeah, competition.
People like it. Best mobile game. I like how they put Apex in here.
Apex Legends Mobile.
Diablo
Immortal.
I think Marvel's gonna win it. Apparently,
a lot of people say a lot of good things.
A lot of people love Marvel Snap.
It's Caravan. It's the game from New Vegas.
I didn't play that.
It's okay. Not a lot of people did. It was sort of a
best community support sponsored by Discord. Maybe 14.
It's either gonna be. I mean, 14 is a powerhouse on that. I mean, just like the transparency and the love letters, the live letters that they do all the time.
Yeah, I think it's 14 is gonna get it.
It's either gonna be 14 or No Man's Sky. I don't think Destiny 2 can get it because Destiny 2 they're good about it, but they're not as transparent and they're not as quick on it as 14 is.
Okay.
Like 14's game patches updates are just like that.
So one of the things the next is innovation and accessibility. I do not like how none of these games say in what ways they were accessible. I think that in itself is not accessible, but I think Last of Us is gonna win.
If it's gonna, I believe it has the same accessibility options as The Last of Us Part 2, which were very, very good.
Yep.
But so I do think that is what's going to win.
And also, it's The Last of Us. I voted for Return to Monkey Island.
This is also the only category it's nominated for.
So everyone's gonna be like, I gotta vote for it here. Whatever.
Yeah.
Best VR AR. I have no stake in this game, but I could probably make a guess.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Best action game.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on this?
I don't know. It had to be put on something. Bayonetta 3, Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge.
Why is a first-person shooter in Best Action Game?
I'm surprised God of War isn't on here.
Yeah.
God of War would have fucking destroyed this category.
This nominee makes no sense.
I think Bayo's gonna win it.
You think Bayo's gonna win it, even though you think Neon White is gonna win Best Indie?
Look. I just know.
You just know.
I just know.
You got the results somewhere?
Foresight.
You got them in your little pocket? Oh, it's in your brain. Oh,
it's in my brain.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Big brain.
Mr. Clairvoyant over here thinks he knows the results of the video game awards.
Look. You all are
Has
laughing
GC played
now.
Neon White? No, I haven't
I
played
haven't
Neon
either.
White.
I want to, though.
I ain't got time for that. I was busy. You know what I was doing? Grinding. Sticking to this Sigma grind set. You know what I'm saying? No cheese, no bacon,
no
ham,
women,
bread, no mayonnaise, no women. My girlfriend lives abroad. Nothing.
Speaking of Sigma, I actually watched American Psycho recently for the first time.
He's just like me, for real, for real.
No, because I'm a healthy individual.
He just like me, for real, for real.
You know that movie's really good. No, like I know you're doing a bit, and I'm trying to ruin the bit.
Oh, the movie's incredible.
That movie's really good, and you want to know why it's good?
Because he knows he's fucked up.
Well, no, but yeah, but I meant more like the reason why that movie is good is that you can tell it was directed by a woman. Because you would not be able to get such good critique if it was directed by a man.
True.
Like,
such honest critique.
It is so like we're talking about American Psycho.
The scene where they're showing each other their business cards. It's such a dick measuring contest.
Like,
it's literally a metaphor for them showing each other their dicks to see whose is better.
If that was directed by a man, we would have had the version. Okay, the version of this is like, I already figured it out.
It wouldn't have been a horror movie.
Well, no, so the version like American Psycho, we have a movie like that to compare it to. American Psycho, directed by a man, is Fight Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas you can tell if you have a brain that this is a critique.
The movie, yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's like, anyway, great movie. Best action adventure game.
What got nominated for this?
Plague Tale, Ragnarok, Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic. I think God of War.
So what's the difference between an action game and an action adventure game?
There's none. Woo. Woo. I think God of War is gonna win this.
Tunic might win.
It could.
Tunic was big. Tunic was huge.
I believe it. But God of War's right there. All right, this is when it gets interesting. RPG. And there are some good. Okay, there are 4 good nominees here.
These are all very good nominees.
I'm gonna say them out of order. Do you have like an applause? Like a sound effect?
Hang on, I can set it up.
All right. How long will it take?
2 seconds.
All right, 1, 2.
Fuck off.
You gotta be honest with me.
It's an approximation.
By the way, I also watched Summer Wars, I think, while during the break.
Ooh.
That movie's fine. It's fine.
All right, it's set up.
All right.
Do you need a cheer and a boo, or just a cheer?
Hold a boo. Hold on to a boo.
Okay, then we'll put a boo in.
Just in case.
I got you. Give me a sec.
Okay. But yeah, I thought Summer Wars was okay. It's very pretty. I feel like it's quite unfocused. And it's like, if I wanted to watch Our War Game, I would have just watched Our War Game, because at least I'd get to see Agumon.
All right. We're ready.
Number 1 in the nominees, Elden Ring. Oh, wait, fuck, I don't know the pronunciation. Live Alive. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Triangle Strategy.
You fucking suck! Oh, you stink!
It's so long.
Well, okay, I also had
You fucking suck!
just by itself.
Nah, it was good. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was real good. I liked it. I think Elden Ring's gonna win.
This one, yeah. This one, I believe, yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like,
was that Alex Jones? No, that was me yelling, "You fucking suck."
Okay. I feel like realistically, Xenoblade 3 has a better chance here than the Game of the Year award.
Yes. Do you think they would give Best RPG and Game of the Year to both?
No.
Both of them to Elden Ring.
Well, I want Xenoblade 3 to get it. I might have to change my goatee. I don't know. Maybe I'll just say Xenoblade 3. And maybe
give Elden Ring Best RPG.
No, just give everything Xenoblade 3, and then if I'm right, ride a high the entire night. All right, best fighting game. We already talked about this. This
Who
is
do you think?
Fucking. I think Multiverse is gonna get it.
I was gonna say King of Fighters 15.
I think Multiverse is because people played it.
Nobody played King of Fighters 15?
Multiverses.
Well, I know Multiverses
lot
is
of
like a
people
huge
played it.
thing. Yeah, that's true.
I don't think Sifu's winning anything. Not a thing of quality against Sifu. I just don't think.
I voted Sifu for the meme. I said I really want this to win just to make fun of this category.
I think JoJo fans are going to be very sad that not everyone.
What the fuck? Why doesn't anybody like JoJo? I love JoJo.
I hope you all know that they were very lazy when it came to that remaster. JoJo's the biggest thing on the planet. Why didn't they dub the fighting game?
They didn't have the money.
Oh, really? Bandai Namco didn't have the money?
The FGC is the only one who cared for KOF. Yeah, but the FGC is the only one that cares about the best fighting game category because the FGC is the only group of people that still plays fighting games.
You sounded a bit rude. It should be mentioned that we're not actually mad.
Oh no, not at you.
You came off a bit. I just wanted to make that clear.
No. Not mad. Not. That's just how I talk.
Okay. Best family game. Kirby, Lego Star Wars, Mario plus Rabbids, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3. I think Splatoon 3 is winning.
Of course Splatoon 3 is gonna win it.
That game fucking rules.
It's like it's a good game, but also like that is the family game that everyone's playing right now. I don't think anyone else is playing.
Kirby has a chance.
Maybe Lego Star Wars. Because I know like parents probably play with their kids that game, but I know like everything else, yeah.
Okay. GC, I'm gonna need your help on this one. Sim/strategy.
I cannot help you because I haven't played any of these sim strategy games.
Why
However,
was Triangle Strategy not here?
Because
it is a strategy game.
Okay, so this category is confusing. Because this should be two separate categories.
It should.
Or it should be a category for simulation strategy games, which is a different thing. Simulation strategy is like Victoria 3, where you pick a real life territory and you strategize how to like build your territory the right way. But as you're doing that, other territories are evolving and adapting with an AI and other like factions, like a 4X game, like a Civilization kind of thing. That's a simulation strategy game. Dune Spice Wars is also kind of sort of like that.
I was gonna say,
but then you have shit like 2 Point Campus, which is just a sim game, and then Mario Rabbids, which is just a strategy game.
Yeah, and I could see why they were running it tight because they had to condense everything into 5. I think it's either Dune or Total or Warhammer.
I'm actually gonna say that the Mario Rabbids game might have some promise here because the Mario Rabbids games are really good.
I believe it. But that's where my intuition is leading me.
And Dune Spice Wars is amazing, and it's coming to Game Pass pretty soon, so I can't wait to play that.
I'm gonna give it a Dune.
Yeah, 2 Point Campus. Special mention to 2 Point Campus. 2 Point Campus is sick. Mario Rabbids is XCOM for kids, correct, and it's great. It actually has mechanics that XCOM doesn't have that I wish it did.
Sports/racing. Didn't everybody hate Gran Turismo 7?
Yeah, it was kind of a dud.
All right. So it's
F122.
F122.
Going to take this.
FIFA 23, 2K23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie Ollie World. I've heard Ollie Ollie World is good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's gonna win.
It's not going to compete against FIFA or F1. It's going to be one of those two. It's not going to be NBA
I'm gonna give it a
2K23.
FIFA.
Yeah. Because NBA 2K20, the 2K games for NBA are so like, they're shovelware at this point, man. Like, it's so embarrassing how predatory those games are. I stopped buying them because of that.
Oh, yeah.
I used to play NBA 2K like all the time.
Best multiplayer. Call of Duty, Multiverses, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and TMNT.
I gave this one to Splatoon 3.
I gave it to Splatoon 3. I think Overwatch is going to win.
I would be disappointed.
I would as well, which is why
I don't think it's as popular as people are.
Oh no. This is a bit of a Cullen hope. I want Keeley at the start of the show to condemn the behavior of bad studios, and then I want them to
give an award
and then I want them
nominated.
to give the speech. So I'm gonna say Overwatch. Because,
Okay.
Like, actually, fuck
But
it,
is that
dude.
who you okay? But is that who you predict winning, or is that who you hope wins?
No, I don't hope it wins.
But are you predicting that Overwatch 2 is going to win, or do you want to see the embarrassment?
I want to see the embarrassment.
Okay, but who do you think is going to win?
That's
what this is. These are your predictions of who's going to win.
Don't see Splatoon 3 winning this one. I don't know why.
I think Splatoon 3 can win it. I think they're going to.
I think it's
Splatoon
going to be
3 is so popular.
I think it's going to be COD or Overwatch. I want to give it to Overwatch. Not that I want to, but I'm being fucking content creator. I think the rest of these are the shit that it doesn't. Okay, no, debut indie. That's so weird.
Yeah, they have like a separate category for that, which is weird. It's not going to be Vampire Survivors.
I think it could be Norco.
What is Norco?
Point and click adventure game. You should check it out. I bought it. I haven't actually played it yet. I think it's on Game Pass.
Maybe I will.
I think Narco is gonna be one of those like they're. I said a lot today. It's gonna be a scrapper. It's gonna like crawl its way up and like it's gonna surprise everybody. And then everyone's like, oh, Narco, or
Okay.
Stray. No, I think Stray's gonna win this.
That's what I keep. That game is
I
doing
think
really good.
Stray's gonna win this one.
This
Sorry,
next
Narco.
category, you're not going to be able to answer, I don't think. Or you might.
Sonic. No, Cyberpunk's winning.
Edge Runners is pretty good.
Everybody loved
What I
Edge
know.
Runners. Cyberpunk's sweeping this. There's no chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe Sonic could win. I'm gonna give it a Cyberpunk though. Most anticipated game.
Which one's going to win it?
So the
This is hard. This is
it
probably
is.
the hardest category.
I'm gonna list them off to people because I realize I probably should have been doing that. I apologize. Final Fantasy 16, Turf RPG, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and Tears of the Kingdom. I don't think 16's gonna win.
I don't think it's anticipated because I think everyone knows it's going to be good.
I think people know it's going to be good, but also I don't think that game will sell well. The
You don't think
trailers
16 will sell well?
the trailers are not doing numbers.
Wow.
People don't see like I think they're going to struggle to get that game to sell well, and I think it's going to lose Square Enix a lot of money, and it's going to be a very good game.
That's good. That's going to fill me with joy.
Oh yeah, no, you're probably going to love this. You're going to be playing every second of that. You're going to be like,
This game lost them so much money.
oh yeah. Oh.
I feel so good.
I think Tears of the Kingdom's going to get it.
I think Starfield's going to get it.
We will
Or
see.
Resi 4.
I think Resi 4
Again, any 4 of these can get it.
I'm not saying
That last
16
one, fuck that one, but
I don't think 16's out of the ring. But I think there's a good chance that it'll be Resident Evil 4, Starfield, or Tears of the Kingdom. And I think Tears of the Kingdom's going to get it simply because people have been waiting for 5 years.
which one? Tears?
Yeah. There's
That
a
is true.
lot of built up anticipation.
That is true.
And every year they delay it, people get more excited.
Also true.
And the last time they showed it looked really goddamn good.
True.
Esports game. I'm not going to actually go into the
Skip
esports. No, the game though. We can at least say the game.
Okay.
I'm not going into the people, the esports players you've never heard of.
I voted Rocket League for this one. But all of these are pretty much have been in the background for a while now.
I think Valorant. I've heard of that more
Valorant's
than the others.
newest one, so maybe.
Esports athlete. Nope. That might have been our last one. That was our last one.
Yep.
So I have a list now. I'll see how it stacks up. I actually didn't say Elden Ring would win a single one. Oops.
I told you.
Well, that's me.
But those are your predictions for what's going to win. That's what you think is going to win, so you don't think Elden Ring is going to sweep.
I do think it's going to sweep, but I couldn't.
You're a liar.
I had to give it a Xenoblade 3.
You couldn't fucking guarantee it. You couldn't fucking see like.
I tanked my
You fucking saw it here
winnability.
first, chat. You fucking saw it here first. GC was right. This bitch was right.
Elden Ring's gonna win all of these, and then I'm gonna feel like an idiot because I knew I should have picked it for all of the ones I gave to Xenoblade 3. I think that's going to win Game of the Year. I think it's gonna win Game of the Year.
Elden Ring?
Yep. The realistic me. Like, realistically, I think that's winning Game of the Year. Like, remember when Sekiro did and everyone went like, what the fuck?
I just don't think so.
Look, Sekiro won Game of the Year, and people are like,
it deserved it.
huh? No, I'm not saying about deserve or not.
I know.
I'm saying Sekiro won, and everyone was like, huh? Like, not that it was undeserved, but huh?
Do you think they're gonna do that again just to get that same reaction?
No, I think that more people played Elden Ring. So you have more of those people. Like, I think...
I just don't think Elden Ring has the same pull that Sekiro had.
I think it had more of a pull. It, like, fucking switched up, like, open world games. And a lot of people... Like, word of mouth kept that game selling for months. Like, it had a long tail.
That is true.
So, yeah. I hope you all made your own list as well.
Yeah.
I guess
Can't wait to compare them on the 8th.
I guess let's wind down. What do you got going on? What are you doing? You seem you're making moves.
Everyone, my work is done. All those videos are ready to go. They've all been uploaded. They're going to be releasing in order. The new video drops on Friday. Patrons on my Patreon will get it literally in an hour and 15 minutes.
Dead ass?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
Well, you know.
I'm Patreon.
You are?
Yeah.
There you go. So the new video is dropping for patrons in an hour. Enjoy.
How long is it?
It is 45 minutes long. And then tomorrow it is going out for everybody else. And tomorrow for patrons, you are getting the next video that's coming out 3 weeks from now, and also a director's commentary track for the video that's coming out in an hour.
So you decided on 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. Because last time we talked about the actual plan of it, I thought you were doing 2.
No, 3.
Well, now you're doing. I'm pretty. Whatever. But I think we talked about this on the podcast, didn't we? Or like on a stream or something.
I think I did say I was gonna do 2, but then I realized that like it wouldn't give me enough of like a backlog. So I was like, okay, we'll do 3 then. And then I was thinking about doing a month, but I was like, that's too long.
No.
I don't want to do 2. I didn't want to do a month, so
I would have done
instead.
If I was as smart as you to like make a batch, I would have done 2. But that's because I'm very impatient. I'm sure 3 will do better for you in the long run.
I'm going nuts just thinking about how long I'm going to be sitting on them. But yeah, so there you go. If you're a patron tomorrow, you're going to get like a total of 3 videos basically between today and Friday, between tomorrow and Friday.
That rules. I'm so excited. Have you already announced the like
I did a channel trailer.
I didn't watch the trailer. I haven't had time, unfortunately.
Yeah, I said I had 2 new series.
But did you tell people the oh, you're getting like if you've
I wrote it in the description. I didn't say it out loud.
Okay. You should do you say it in the video?
Nope.
You should probably.
I'm just gonna let them all start rolling out.
No, but that's a good ad for your Patreon.
Oh. Yeah.
Maybe add it to the next one.
I might. Yeah, I might add it to the next one.
Add it to the next one.
Maybe so. No, not the next one. I'll do it to the one after that. The next one is the one that I had to edit like crazy to not get flagged on YouTube. I don't want to make any changes to that. That thing is staying exactly the way
that's
it
fair.
is.
That's fair.
Yeah, no. I'll wait until the other one.
I am looking forward then to watching a new GC video.
Thanks.
Before we were friends, I was a fan.
My heart. Anyway, what are you up to?
So I've been playing Jack 2.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
No, so it's been a bit of a period of time. I've been trying to make videos. I have essentially finished what I considered my backlog of stuff. That weren't entirely passion projects, but I needed to get out. I think the videos are all right. The Rune Factory 5 video, I will say is great, if and only because of Shibuya Gato, who did the editing on it. I think that script was very dry, and Shibuya made that shit sparkle.
Nice.
It's the inverse of the Metal Max video I just put out, which I have a new video. Watch it, I guess. I don't know. Where I think my script for Metal Max was pretty good. My editing is very dry, and the footage is very dry because that game is not visually appeasing.
That sucks.
It's a AA game trying to make an open world post-apocalyptic Tokyo desert setting. It's like it's not a looker.
Okay.
But you know, I have a new video. Consider watching it. It's like 10 minutes long. Last 2 videos were very short. I don't even know what I made before that. Soul Hackers before that. I can't even keep up with what I'm doing. I'm so tired.
That's okay.
It's
a low moment.
Oh fuck! I made a Chaos Head video. I totally forgot about that.
There you go.
Go watch that one instead. That game's actually pretty like.
You've done a lot of work.
That video was actually pretty good. I was proud of the Chaos Head video. It's almost at 10K. So okay, it's not. It's at 8K, but still. The Rune Factory video did surprisingly okay. The Metal Max videos. No one's watching that shit. That's not even, dude. No, this isn't even me. Because
okay, that's right. Okay, yeah, that's right. I remember now.
Like when I dropped Rune Factory, that was me being like a doomer. Is like, no one's gonna watch this shit. No one's watching this. Shout out to people like K-Bash and like Civet. Civet fucking retweeted that Metal Max video. Thank you all for supporting my mid. But no, like I'm okay if it doesn't do numbers. It's a very niche game. But it's out now. Fucking I'm sure at some point it'll get caught up in an algorithm swell and do maybe 1,000 views finally. But I have 2 videos I'm working on right now. Technically 3 maybe. Where finally after all this time I am going back to the Chrono Cross trilogy. I'm wrapping it up. I'm gonna make a decently sized, probably like 20-minute-ish long video on the remaster and Radical Dreamers. I have so little to say about the remaster.
It's a remaster. It happened.
I wish Square did better.
I wish they'd done it earlier so that I could make a video that wasn't that. I know the feeling. Hi, Dragon Quest S.
I'm almost happy it
Great.
took their time, actually. Because it runs really bad, and I'm disappointed in some aspects of it. And it doesn't seem like they're going to fix it.
Oh, no!
And the fan fixes barely help. But Radical Dreamers rules, so I'll probably be just talking about how much I love Radical Dreamers.
All right.
I don't think it, like, the last video was an hour long, and if you're wondering why I haven't been making content throughout the year, or why, hey Cullen, why was everything after the Chrono Cross Part 2 like less than 20 minutes each? It's because I made an hour-long video.
Hey, my next video is 45 minutes long, but the other ones are gonna be like barely 15.
That rules,
So
though.
like, don't worry about it.
When I finish the third part, I'm gonna just like, I'm just gonna make a compilation of the whole thing and see if that somehow does.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
planning on doing with the Yakuza stuff. Oh, you told me to do that with the Dragon Quest stuff already.
You really should.
I'm gonna do that.
And just be like, K-Bash, we're gonna steal from you. Reviewing every Dragon Quest game.
You just do that, but it's just all of them put together.
Yeah.
That's cute.
That's just what he did for Persona. Reviewing every Persona game, and he just took all his Persona videos and just linked them together.
Fucking funny. Did he put like a heads up at the front of it or anything?
I don't
Or
think so.
It just goes. I gotta look that up. I gotta check that out because I'll probably do it in the same way.
His Persona videos are good. Chrono Cross, Jack 2, and I'm gonna say this for the podcast people, and I haven't really announced it elsewhere. But Silent Hill 4.
Oh yeah.
I just gotta play through it, and it runs bad on PC, so I'm working on it.
Oh.
But besides
Gotta
that,
get a PS2 copy.
I wish I could. That's too expensive.
Oh shit.
But besides that, I'm gonna be playing some games. I think you will see a review from me on a press site for upcoming Harvestella, Saga Minstrel Song, which I'm really excited about, and another game I'm very excited about is fucking Front Mission.
Yo,
Dude, I don't know if you saw my tweet earlier. Front
No, I
Mission
didn't.
and Saga Minstrel Song come out
yeah.
one day apart.
Yeah, I saw
So funny.
that. I did see.
So funny.
We're screwed.
I don't even think Square Enix is doing publishing on Front Mission. I think that's all the company who did the like Forever Entertainment, which is weird. Then you would pick that day. I don't know. I don't get it.
Nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. It's Square Enix and other people.
They're so funny.
It's like a poison. It's like if you work on a Square Enix game, your timing is terrible.
And I think there's like 3 Square Enix games coming out in December. Yeah, at least. It's like I
They
know
gotta make that NFT money somehow.
I know for a fact it is because Saga Minstrel Song is day 1. By day 1 I mean the first of the month. And then I think the week after is Dragon Quest, and then I think the week after that is Final Fantasy Crisis Core. I don't know if they're finishing off the year with another game. I don't think so. I'm sure Crisis Core will do really good because it's coming out around Christmas time, and a bunch of people are going to buy it for Christmas presents.
I'll probably buy it. I really want to play Crisis Core again.
Me too. Apparently, I know people who've been to like preview events of that and said it was great. So I'm like, fuck yeah.
All right.
I trust the 7 remake vision. But yeah, I'm just playing games. Oh, I might get Pokemon. We're gonna talk
we
about
talked about
Pokemon. Guys, if I get Pokemon, what version should I get? Scarlet or Violet?
I'm getting Violet.
I typically always go blue. When it comes to Pokemon, the closest
Right.
thing I can get to blue, that's what I go for.
Okay.
But like, I don't like, after playing Arceus, I don't know if I can go back to normal Pokemon. I think people kind of forget Arceus came out this year. That game rules.
It's very, very good. It's very, very good. I think Violet and Scarlet are gonna be very, very good as well, though. Straight up.
I'll decide tomorrow, I guess.
I suppose. Do we know if this game's gonna get released with like horrible bugs?
I mean, it's been leaked to shit, so people know the frame rate's bad.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's a Switch game.
what else is new?
Yeah.
I just realized something pretty great
What?
that I'll be able to do, and that way I can play with you and also
Oh no, do I have to buy the game now?
have my own save
All right, what?
separate from that. I'll tell you after the podcast.
Okay. Fair enough. Scarlet, hot cave woman professor.
If you know, you know.
She did seem interesting, I will say. I liked her more than the other guy, the other professor.
When is Engage coming out?
Fuck, that's January, man.
Oh, then we're fine.
I'm not fine. I'm fucked. There's so
What
many
comes out in
games.
January?
No, just fucking that. I think Octopath comes out.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But so that'll be it from us.
I think that's it.
I think that's it indeed. I guess we will see you in a month after the Game Awards come and go. Oh my god, Forspoken comes out in January. Square Enix. Square Enix.
Gotta make that NFT money somehow, boy.
Square Enix.
They're gonna lose so much money. The funny part is they could be making so much more money. Anyway, fuck it. That's a conversation for another time.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We will see you all next month. Have a happy time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.